Okay, let me see. I'll identify the plane
Well,
for you,
the thing is, they flew by me so fast, I couldn't even get a good
They
picture.
definitely did not break the sound barrier. You're
Yes,
not allowed to break the sound
did.
barrier over residential
They didn't.
neighborhoods. It'll shatter windows.
Maybe over the Hudson. They went by pretty fast.
Yeah, there's no buildings near the Hudson River, you moron.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
There's no buildings near the Hudson River.
I'm making fun of you. It might be the most densely populated part of the United States.
Well, if you fly, you're not allowed to fly over, but there's no buildings underneath if you're over the Hudson River.
If four F-22s in formation flew over the river,
you're
here's a couple issues.
Planes. You're gatekeeping planes.
No,
I just want to show you these
wrong.
fucking
I'm educating
planes.
you.
I just want to show you these fucking planes that I saw this morning and talk to you about planes. They flew by so fast. That's all I could get.
Welcome back to Macrodosing.
What a fucking clap.
Great clap at the start. It is Thursday. It's May 25th. May flew by, huh?
You're just getting old, man. Everything flies by now.
It does.
Yeah.
It's actually scary how fast May flew by because I thought we were like in spring, but spring's like kind of almost over and it's summer.
It's like summertime,
Yeah.
Summer abs came and went, didn't they?
Lightweight summer. It's Labor Day abs for now.
Oh,
I've got like 4 abs, maybe 3.5.
I'm struggling, especially this New York trip. I had ramen twice, so
yeah.
I might have it again after this. Actually,
ramen's the best. Yeah, Billy.
I've been trying to still go for Memorial Day abs. Had a little setback. Just been balling. Just 2 hours.
You did invite me yesterday.
You should come today. Just like from a health standpoint.
Yeah.
Thanks, Billy. Yeah, man. Put me on track, man. Show me the way.
Listen, professional athlete Arian Foster, I think you could use a little cardio.
Yeah.
If I was Arian, I would, or any player that played in the NFL, after I retired, I'd just be like, not working out ever again. Like a greyhound dog that ran for its entire life, and then they get adopted, they just sleep all day. That would be me.
That's facts. And you see a lot of ex-athletes do that, especially running backs. They blow up after that. I refuse. So, like, I reached this point. My gauge is, like, you know, sometimes, because I had that moment where I was like, I'm not doing shit ever again. But then you have that moment where mine was like, you know, I was on the toilet, actually, and I reached over, you know, to wipe myself, and I felt a roll for the first time in my life, and I was like, hell no.
You got in the way of your arm?
Well, no, I didn't get in the way. You could just feel your skin roll over. Like my ribs, the skin of my ribs have never felt each other. You know what I'm saying? The top of my rib felt the middle of my rib, and I ain't like that shit.
That's a great story. Big T, you should blog that. Arian Foster knew it was time to get back in shape because of something he discovered when he was taking a shit.
Got it.
That's a good blog.
That's what happened.
So running backs, I don't think that we've talked about that before, but I do notice a tendency of former running backs to get big afterwards. You see offensive linemen, they get small.
Skinny. Yeah. It's because it's not easy being 300 pounds. Like, it's hard. Like, it takes, you have to eat a certain way, you have to eat a lot, you have to work out a certain way. And they get sick of that shit carrying that around.
They get sick of eating while they're in the league.
Yeah, so we swap.
Yeah,
but I refuse to be that running back. You know what I'm saying? So I have stints where I'll be relaxed for 3 or 4 months, but then I feel that little roll for the ribs touching, and we out. Nah, I gotta hit it again.
There's a picture that I found. So when I was cleaning out a bunch of stuff at my parents' old place, I was going through old sports pictures that I had when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And so I've talked about it. I don't know if I've talked about it on this show, but Mark Schlereth, the guy on Fox, he used to be my coach for basketball and baseball when I was a kid for I think like 3 seasons. And I found a picture where he was one of the assistant coaches.
Oh, you found it?
And if you've seen him on TV for the past, almost 20 years.
Yeah, he's skinny.
He retired in 2003, 2004 maybe. And he's gotten really, really skinny. He's even on like soap operas and shit.
Really?
Yeah. So
Mark,
he's a skinny guy. I found this picture of 1998. So I was 13 years old on this team, and look how big Mark is. I know this is bad. This is bad podcasting, but I do want to get Arian's reaction. That's Mark, top right hand corner. Look how wide that man is.
God, yeah.
Just a mountain of a dude.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Damn. See, I don't even remember him that big.
Yeah, you have to. A lot of.
Which one are you though, bro?
Yeah, find me. I'm the white kid.
That's okay. Okay, number 15 is out.
Yeah.
Bro, I really can't. Top left, 11.
That's probably me. Yeah,
it's the ears.
Top left.
Yeah, that's me. Top left.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of offensive linemen when they're in the league, eating is like a full-time job for them, especially in training camp when you're burning all those calories. You just got to force yourself smoothies, all that stuff.
Like I said, I think I said it too on this part, but like during training camp, you'll lose so much weight day to day until they monitor your weight loss. And so there was dudes, and usually the linemen, because when you lose weight, you lose water weight the fastest, right? And so there were guys who would lose 20 pounds in one practice session, easy. And so they had to like monitor that.
Chocolate milk instead of water.
For recovery, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got to the point where some of my teammates that I'm still in contact with were eclipsing. So they were like 300 pounds, and I was like playing at like 230, but now we're eclipsing. Yep. And that was scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my lineman, my center I play with for the majority of my career, Chris Myers, he's probably like 240 right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
And you step on the scale and
I'm probably like 230 something. Yeah, I'm probably like 230 something right now.
Joe Thomas lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
He went keto. He always posts videos of him grilling steaks. Yep. That's like the only
I will say though, it's like a sigh of relief not worrying about what you have to put in your body. And it's just like you get to eat whatever you want, get to enjoy it. You do, you start to balloon a little bit. But there's not much of a better feeling that I've had as a human when you're exercising on a regular basis and you're eating what you're supposed to. Your bowel movements are really clean and really smooth. Like, I know it's nasty, but it's real. That's really part of like understanding your diet is how your bowel movements are. So you pay attention to that. But like when everything's functioning right, the mental clarity you have, the motivation you have, the ambition, all of that is just everything spikes.
You feel good about yourself because you're doing things right. You get more confidence.
But that's addition to not only you feel good about yourself, you just feel good. Everything's functioning how it's supposed to be functioning. So you're sharper mind-wise. You have more energy, which is wild. Like you have more energy. You have more like everything's clicking. You're just a happier. From my experience, you know what I'm saying, you're just like a happier. And you can take it to the extreme. Like that's why I was like balance is everything. Like don't work out 4 times a day and shit. Like if you're not training for nothing. But like when you doing what you're supposed to do, it's a good. That's the best you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best you.
I was reading this article about alcohol, leaky gut, and probiotics, and how alcohol sort of messes with your digestive system and kills a lot of probiotics.
Yeah.
In that a lot of people who like get moody after drinking alcohol or like get really bad hangovers and a lot of mental side effects of hangovers, anxiety or whatnot, they found a huge reduction in that after introducing probiotics daily to maintain their gut health and just start fixing some leaky gut type stuff. And it like impacted their mental health. So then I started taking a bunch of probiotics.
After you read the one article?
Yeah, I was just like, oh, fuck it, I'll order it. Lactobacillus reutieri, highly recommend. And mood and I was more focused, I felt. May have been placebo, but it's been a couple weeks, months actually. And just like way more locked in, way better mood, way better workouts.
No, when I first started dealing with my anxiety attacks, I thought they were heart issues. I think I talked about it briefly on this podcast, but I thought they were heart issues because they're kind of indistinguishable. But what I found out was when I saw a heart specialist, he was like, I think you have leaky gut. And so he started giving me this stuff that was like coating, and like that shit helped immediately. And so he would have me take it after I ate and like coated my stomach. Because like there's a lot of actual interesting science on like the connection between the brain and the gut.
Yeah.
Like, they say it's your second brain. It's actually really interesting. I don't want to spout off the top because I don't know about heart, but it's a lot of interesting science that links those two.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first started, like that was a big issue of mine was my gut.
I might have to get on those probiotics. When I get hungover,
probiotics are good, man.
I rarely get a headache, rarely get a stomach ache, but I get tremendous anxiety if I'm hungover, like almost crippling sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get on that probiotic.
Yeah, sometimes Chick-fil-A, remember I was saying it made my heart beat? I think that was a little leaky gut related. And like, look, pounding like 30 beers a weekend, 4 years of college, all that wheat, all that gluten definitely didn't do me any favors.
Rookie numbers. 30 beers a weekend, Billy, really?
Let's just keep it there for
I'm not your doctor. You don't have to lie to me.
Yo, that shit be making me think I'm an alcoholic when you go to the doctor. They're like, how many drinks do you have a week? It's like 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Who has 1 to 2 drinks? Like, do people drink like that?
Yeah, I have one beer to celebrate Friday evening.
Freaking Mormons.
Like, who drinks?
Wait,
like,
I have half a glass of wine during church. That might not be real wine.
Do we count that?
Put me down as 1.5, Doc.
Yeah, that's and like the extreme is like 3 to 4.
Yeah,
like 3 to 4 is like the high end of when they think you should cut off, and I'm like, bro, that's
because I think
that's crazy.
I think doctors know people lie to them about that stuff, and so they do the math in their head. If you say I have 4 drinks a weekend or occasionally 4 drinks a night, they'll be like, well, that really means 10 in their own mind. Now, if somebody comes in and is completely honest with the doctor, if you took a 21-year-old that's at some big state school, likes to party, and they go in, they're like, yeah, I probably drink about 60 beers a week. You think the doctor would do that math in their head and be like, you're going to drink 240
tomorrow
beers a week? Or do you think they'd be like, well, thank God this person isn't lying to me. Everybody else lies to me.
I don't know, man. Because I've known some like housewives, though. Some regular like just women just doing their shit. They'll drink like a bottle of wine a day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so like that's what 4 drinks right there.
Yeah.
And so it's like how can I answer this question with any kind of seriousness?
Yeah.
Well,
give me these options.
Some people are just built different. You know what I'm saying?
I'm facts. I'm definitely built different.
Yeah, where it's like it affects people differently. Like some people just don't like to drink. It doesn't affect them. It like affects everyone differently. And then there's some people who are like, I just had a 6-pack and I'm, chilling.
I think there's a directly inverse relation between if you ask a guy.
Are we justifying alcoholism right now?
Maybe.
We're justifying our drinking. We're not that bad, though. What? Couple DUIs and I'm a bad guy now?
It's only light beer.
If you
can't black out on light beer.
A doctor asking a guy how many beers you drink a week is the exact inverse relationship, I think, as opposed to a guy asking a friend of his, like, what's your number for how many women you've had sex with?
The body count.
Yeah, you gotta, in one circumstance you multiply by 3, another you divide by 3. Oh, but that's the opposite if it's a guy asking his girlfriend. Then you gotta multiply that shit by 3.
Yeah.
So she's lying.
She's lying.
Yeah?
Yeah, but
3?
I think that...
Well, maybe not 3, but a lot of women, they'll be like, well, that guy doesn't really count. I don't, I met him one time. Yeah. I'm not, whoa, Mad Dog. Mad Dog with a fast, yeah.
No, I don't do that.
But yeah, that was a very fast,
it was so fast. Yep, they don't count.
It's only intimacy if you actually like had a connection with them.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying girls do that where they're like, oh, he doesn't count. He was like a bad hookup, so he doesn't count.
Or if it's like, well, I cheated.
Definitely counts.
I cheated on my boyfriend with this guy. So the guy that I cheated with, I'm not counting that because I never told my boyfriend that I cheated on him.
That I can.
Hold on, give me the psychology if it doesn't count because it was a bad hookup. Like if it's body count, we counting. Well, first of all,
I'm a child.
I do not suggest asking your partner the body count.
No,
it does nothing for you.
Yep.
It only leads to horrible conversation. This is just friends talking about body count.
We're just friends.
All right.
I think women do this thing where, like, if you don't feel like it was a satisfactory experience.
Oh yeah. Wow! Then it might be multiplied by 3.
So hypothetically.
So if he didn't do his job, he don't count?
Well, it's like
I'm not saying that I do any of this.
I'm reading between the lines here. If
I don't do
if you go home with a guy,
that's why I like the women representation on the podcast. And these conversations need to be had.
And things start, and then things end. 45 seconds later because maybe he's had a lot to drink,
or never start.
If it's attempted,
very specific, Maddie.
I'm not saying fucking anything.
Going on.
I'm not saying fucking anything.
If it starts and 30 seconds later, you're like, well, this isn't going to work.
Okay,
that doesn't count.
That probably shouldn't count.
Yeah,
that probably shouldn't count.
Maybe.
Why would that count?
I mean, I don't really care about like whether or not it counts or not. Like Arian said, like that's not a good conversation to have. You don't need to know.
It also
it's honestly none of your business.
It's absolutely none of your business.
It also doesn't count an hour later when it just doesn't work out.
I didn't say anything like that.
Never mind.
Okay.
No, what does that mean? Given what you were defending before the show started, I'm really curious as to what you mean, bro.
No, like you have too much to drink and you're just like, it's not happening tonight.
That's what I just said.
That's what, yeah.
Well, you're saying 45 seconds.
Well, sometimes it's clear.
Sometimes it's an hour.
But if you've been doing it for an hour, that's
you
sex.
revving that engine for an hour.
You just can't get it done. Then it doesn't count.
That's another big misconception I think a lot of people have is like guys grow up and they're like, yeah, I can go all night. It's like, have you ever talked to a woman before about like whether or not she wants to be having sex with you for 5 hours?
I do respect the cats though with a quick reload time because that's not something in my wheelhouse. Like you gotta give me like 30.
That's still pretty impressive.
30?
30 minutes.
No, 30 is not impressive. Really? Yeah. Well, you know.
Some people are built
I do what I do. But no, I know dudes who can just, right after.
Keep going.
I'm like, what? Get off me.
Yeah.
What?
To the dude?
How do you know?
To the dude?
No, I'm talking about like when I'm finished.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping.
Yeah. All right, that's sex ed.
Get off me, guy.
Big T, what do you think?
Let's just cut
What do you
that
think
whole
about body counts, Big T?
I don't think anything.
I shouldn't have said
Let's cut that whole conversation.
No. I'd like to know Arian's opinion on the dog conversation though. So
Yeah.
don't clip any of this because we have an episode of Part of My Take coming out on on Friday with Mark Titus, and we got lengthy into whether or not somebody can become a dog, what type of dog, if it's easier to become a dog after you're already like a wolf and get toned down to being a dog. It's a good conversation. I mean, it sounds stupid as fuck.
The difference from the NFL and the NBA is that everyone in the NFL, except maybe kickers and quarterbacks, has that dog.
No, I don't think that's true. I was gonna ask Arian. Arian, are there guys in the NFL that have gone from not being a dog, not having a dog in them, to then becoming a dog, or is it something that you already have to have?
I think it's like a hierarchy. So it's like when you like, cause there's dudes who was in college who like was dogs, had it, but then they get around like some real dogs, and they kind of like
fall back.
They tuck their tails a little bit.
Yeah,
I've seen that many times, and so I think it's something, and you can either rise to that occasion or tuck your tail. Mm-hmm. And I think it's something that's like. I've actually always, is it nature or nurture? That's basically the conversation y'all are having, and I think it's just in you, man. Mm-hmm. I think you just got it or you don't.
Yeah.
I think you can I think you can exist in the circle if you're not like, I hate to use the alpha shit because it's kind of corny, but if you're not like one of the top dogs, I hate that that too. But like if you're not in a higher part of the hierarchy, you can exist in that arena, but when you're around them, you're not one of them.
Mm-hmm. Arian, you actually were having this conversation with Coley, and the exact term you used was there's dogs and there's wolves.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah, well, that was more so like, yeah, but in a different context, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's top dogs.
I do think that there's some players in the NFL that are just really good at football, and they don't love it. They might not have that mean streak in them.
Yeah. And
so they might be good for a little bit, but it's not going to be a 10-year career that they have.
Well, I mean, even I think that doesn't even necessarily have anything to do. Like I think there's Hall of Famers that aren't really like doggy, like you know what I'm saying? Like, they were just really nice. Mm-hmm. Just nice. But like it's like a different mentality. Like I don't know, like when you line up and you really ready to die for this shit, that type shit. It's different.
See, I think Arian, if you just talk to him, you would be like, he might not have that dog in him. He might not love football enough to have a dog. But then you watch him play, and you're like, Arian, certified dog.
But I'm different. Like how I am here. I'm an entirely different human on the football field. Like ask all my teammates.
Would I like you when you're in football mode?
If you're on my team, yeah, you'd love me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If I was a kicker,
like I would say it would be hard. You'd be hard pressed to find like an ex teammate of mine that didn't like me. As far as just a human being, as well as like a football player, like if we didn't have any like funk off the field, you know what I'm saying? But if it was just like, if we was, I'm a ride for you. I'm like, there was this one time I got mic'd up, and I was never mic'd up again. We was playing San Francisco, and I just lost my shit. Because they were talking shit to me. It was when that whole NCAA came out thing, that school documentary came out, and I said I took money. Mm-hmm. And like half of the players were like, good for you speaking up. The other half was like, why you snitching? Like that type shit, right? Even though I didn't snitch on anybody. And there was a dude who, I think it was some corner who was talking shit. He was like, you a snitch. I lost my shit. But like, it's that mentality that made me like, I was like, this whatever after this. Like, we take these pads, like whatever. Like that. Mm-hmm. That's where I go. Like when I'm playing ball, like that's where I go. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, and they never mic'd you up after that again.
It was bad though. I was talking about that man. Fam, it was whatever. It was bad.
I would love to see what gets cut from the mic'd ups.
I
would love to see that.
Bro. Because like when I talk shit, I talk shit.
That's like that is the treasure trove that the NFL has right now.
Yeah, they probably got a lot of like.
I bet you if there's a players strike or a CBA doesn't get agreed to,
that would be interesting.
Like one fall, if there's no games, the NFL could just be like, we're going to release the behind the scenes mic'd up comments.
That would be interesting.
They should just make it a podcast and imagine listening to that while working out, just like people talking shit. Like that would get me hyped.
It would be bad.
And you have to guess who said it because you're not actually seeing.
That would be better because if they put it, because there would be a lot of like. There's some shit talking that go on, bro.
What about guys that know that they're mic'd up? I remember when JJ got into the league and when he first started dominating, there was one time he was mic'd up. I think he was going against Ray Rice.
Yeah,
and he hits him. He hits him and he goes, I've eaten burritos that are bigger than you, bro. Yeah. And it's like, okay, JJ had that one lined up because he knew that he was mic'd up that game. Yeah. There's some players that know.
He's just writing bits before the game. Yeah. He was like, who's on the other team? Ray Rice?
You know what? I would like to offer our services to any NFL player that might be listening. If you know you're going to be mic'd up and you feel unprepared going to the game, we'll give you some lines to use in the game.
I got some for you.
Yeah.
I got some for you.
I would love to see. I want to get. Can you request you're mic'd up? Because I feel like that's.
I don't know.
That's players. They're doing it to protect the players, right? So can you say like I hereby agree for my entire mic'd up to be released, or do you want to keep that?
I would want to see it first.
Yeah.
Because I was funky with it.
Problematic.
Yeah, it was very problematic.
I was like, I love the Whoop. No free ads, but like I love tracking the Whoop for my workouts. And
doing what?
The Whoop, my Whoop band.
It tracks
your heart rate, like how much strain you put in something.
Okay, I love tracking my Whoop. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It gives you a lot of stats. It gives you a lot of stats. Okay. In games where like it gets more intense and like it's a very competitive game, a lot of trash talking, my Whoop scores are higher because my heart rate is higher and I can see that I'm going harder in those games and you get a better workout.
So you're saying talk more shit.
Yeah.
It's more
it just gets you going.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that makes sense. A little more into it.
Like you don't have that quit because you're insecure about what someone else has said, or like that type of deficit where you're like trying to make up for it.
That's the one thing I don't like about golf. It's so fucking nice. Like it's just too nice, man. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like could you just imagine if Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, and like Phil Mickelson hits a shot and Tiger walks to his ball after he hits it, that shit ass. And he just get that shit would be it would create so much more interest in the game, I think.
Yeah, the guys that run golf tournaments and like the PGA, they would be like, this is unacceptable.
Yeah, it's like it's just so highbrow. It's like that's not classy. Like, bitch.
I also think that a lot of golf fans that are currently fans of the game would hate that.
1,000%.
It would attract a new audience,
1,000%.
but there would definitely be
1,000%.
They would lose a lot of their audience, I think, if it started with that.
But see, and that's why I don't know if they'd lose the audience in the way that they would lose the audience in, like, you know, when the NFL players start taking a knee. Those fringe guys.
Yeah,
but like you still gonna watch the sport.
You might also see old guys that say that they hate that shit, and then they watch it, and then they're like, I hate this, but I'm gonna watch more of it.
That the Floyd Mayweather effect, where it's like you watching to see him lose, and because not everybody's going to talk shit like that. There's gonna be a lot of people who are like, I don't like it for the game, and then those guys get into it with it. It will cause like more rivalries and more like interest in the sport. I think.
I also think with golfers, so much of it is a mental game with themselves.
Yeah.
That they have a tendency to not talk shit because the game of golf humbles people. Yeah. Even if you're the best player in the world, you can go out there and just suck shit for a day. And so you're playing this mental game against yourself, and you talk more shit to yourself if you watch it. Golfers talk way more shit to themselves than they ever would to a playing partner. Like Justin Thomas at the PGA Championship? I think he called himself like a P word. Tiger used to talk so much.
Oh yeah,
come on, what's he?
I mean, he brought out
Tiger.
He took out a tampon.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But they homies though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Imagine doing that and that's not the homie.
That's just guys being dudes. And people got so mad at Tiger the old golf fans are like, well, it was partially old golf fans and also people online that don't actually watch sports or golf that are like, this is very disrespectful to women to be handing you a tampon. Yeah, I get it is implying that you're a female, and then that's implying that you're weak. I understand that aspect, but also at the time, I think that if that's the most offensive misogynistic thing that Tiger Woods is doing, we should applaud him for the progress that he's made over the years.
I got a couple takes. I don't think Tiger's a bad dude. I think he's like a horny dude. I don't think he was like harassing females. You know, he's just horny.
Yeah.
Like, and so he's just like, but I don't know, man. Like, as a woman, you know what I mean? Maybe y'all could tell me this. Is it offensive to be like, you're driving the ball like a woman if men are talking shit to each other? With the notion in the back of your head that on average, men drive it farther than women.
Right.
Is that offensive?
That's just like a fact.
I agree. I just want to get the take on it because like that's what the tampon implies. Like, you hitting like a woman.
Yeah.
Like, you hitting like a girl. Yeah. I'm here for the conversation.
I get the like biological part.
Mm-hmm.
It's still like offensive. Or not offensive.
Why though?
No,
but like it's still like annoying.
Yeah,
but like
it's like oh, you throw like a girl sort of thing.
Like,
I think
personally, I don't like. It's fine.
It's fine. I get it. I say it too.
I think it's fair to say that it is demeaning to women.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
at
the same time, it's in the grand scope of things that Tiger could be doing to women. It's relatively harmless,
right?
True.
You know,
if we look at the history,
yeah. At least he's not, cheating on his wife and getting his car window smashed in.
Also, it's in like good fun. Like it was very funny that he did that.
Yeah.
So it's like just have a sense of humor.
Yeah, but I think you got to be realistic about yourself. That's why. So like when I was playing, especially like at UT, right? Like I was known, like people would be like, oh, he fumbles a lot, right? Like even though like relatively speaking, I didn't
He carried the ball like a loaf.
Yeah,
of bread.
relatively speaking, I did fumble. So, but like when people are like, oh, you fumble, it didn't like. I get the critique. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand it, but it's not gonna offend me. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I know I don't like that. So it's like, I don't know. Like I get the whole, I don't know, the whole women's sports thing is an interesting conversation in general. But like shit like that, like that's.
If we're going to get offended on treatment of women drivers, maybe we should look at Liv and the Saudi Arabian government. I think that might be the first thing.
Yeah.
Well, no, they are allowed to drive now. They are allowed to drive.
Are they
really? Yeah. Saudi Arabia's made insane amounts of progress.
So the Liv Tour is a net positive.
They allow women to drive cars now in Saudi Arabia.
That's so nice.
When I was growing up, I had a friend.
Nice of them.
I had a friend that his dad worked for an oil company, and they had to go live in Saudi Arabia for I think 3 or 4 years, and his wife was just like, "Well, I guess I just can't drive for 3 years. You have to like follow all those rules."
That's wild.
Yeah. What's the genesis of that? Because I understand. I'm not saying I agree with it, but the traditional dress, whether it's a burqa or it's just covering yourself in a hijab, it's modesty.
Yeah.
It's in around modesty, and I think that's also subjugation of women too, where it's saying. I think a lot of men are like so insecure, no one's allowed to look at their wives.
Well, I think it was the opposite, the origins of my understanding. And I could be wrong,
Okay.
but my understanding of it was more so like you revealing yourself protects you from other men who are like creepy.
Got it.
Creepers. So it's like more like just protect yourself and respect the family that you've built or whatever the case may be or that you have. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that the origins of it, from my understanding, is more of a protection. That's how they would justify it.
And at the root of that, you could say, well, maybe just teach men not to be absolute creeps when you see a woman's
holding
face.
men accountable? Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah. But I guess I can answer my question because the next train of thought was going to be, what does women driving like? It's inappropriate to see a woman in a car. But that's more just like control.
What are the
if a woman can't drive
crash
herself?
rates in Saudi Arabia?
It's a good question. Let's ask Andrew Tate. Remember that when he's like, they should not let women drive because I've been in 20 car accidents, and almost every time it's been with a woman. How unsafe are these women? That was very funny.
I remember that. That would be interesting though to see the crash rates to see if it's higher or lower.
Well, so the insurance companies study it. If you want to get to the bottom of anything in America statistically, you can look at the way that corporations react to things.
Okay.
And insurance premiums tend to be lower for women drivers than they are for men
Really?
drivers, and it's because they're
probably
more cautious.
Probably safer drivers.
Yeah. They just don't have that dog in them on the road.
They ain't trying to get over like we trying to get over.
They're not built like that.
They're not like speed racing.
Yeah, women are such pussies. They wear seatbelts.
They don't try to race each other.
Yeah.
I've been guilty of that.
I read a story yesterday, and I'm curious to get your guys' reaction on this. There was a fundraising auction that Speaker McCarthy did in Congress. Big T, did you see this?
I have not.
Okay, so he was auctioning off stuff, and people could bid on it. The money went to charity. He auctioned off his chapstick. He auctioned off his used chapstick.
What the fuck?
Guess how much the winning bid was? And now I'm saying like it's other Congress people that are bidding on this. And I think their staffers were allowed to bid too, but
and it's for charity.
For charity, yeah.
And people are okay.
What would you guess that the winning bid would be?
$800.
That's crazy. I was gonna say like 5, maybe two to 500.
Billy,
wasn't it like? I saw it. I won't guess.
Okay,
I just searched and found it.
Mad Dog, do you have a guess? Mm-mm. It was $100,000.
Yeah.
What?
And guess who bought it? Not Santos. Marjorie Taylor Greene bought it for $100,000.
What?
Jesus. Is that like a tax write-off?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
If you buy a piece of chapstick for $100,000, you can write that off.
Charity organization. Yeah. Because basically what you're doing is
donating
to charity. It's tax. But still, dog,
that makes sense.
Fuck? They couldn't find any other things to auction. Like who's used the chapstick? Is that a real story?
It's a real story.
It's not a.
It's a real story. I'm looking at a picture right now of Marjorie Taylor Greene holding the chapstick and smiling after she won it.
Oh, hold on.
Who uses?
Do they have any kind of deal with the brand that he sold?
I'm sure it's not woke chapstick.
Of course not. Why would they?
Oh, they got conservative chapstick.
Well, I'm sure that if it had been a problematic chapstick, she would not have bid that much on it. $100K for chapstick.
She got money.
Good for charity.
What if she's trying to clone the dude?
Yeah.
Get his DNA out the chapstick.
Clone McCarthy.
Who is McCarthy?
He's Speaker of the House.
Is he another Republican?
Republican from California, yeah. All right, Billy, what are you beat off about this week?
I'm beat off because AI made the stock market crash a little bit and fooled a bunch of people. So there was a picture that was going viral that the only mainstream news source, by the way, I'm not saying this is a mainstream news source, but like confirmed news source that tweeted it was RT, but it was an AI picture of an explosion occurring near the Pentagon, and it was getting shared everywhere and caused an actual dip in the stock market. And it was an AI generated image.
It wasn't even the Pentagon.
In the picture.
No, that building was definitely not. I saw that picture. Right. That's definitely not the Pentagon.
But it just, I don't know who did it, who surfaced it.
So that's not AI.
AI created it, but then
AI didn't create the spike. Humans did.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. It's like
somebody asked an AI image generator show a picture of a fire next to the Pentagon, and it put out this picture of what looked to be like the aftermath of an explosion next to an office building. That if you don't know what the Pentagon looks like, I guess you could think that it was. And so it was put out, and a lot of people retweeted it, jumped all over it, and then the stock market panicked.
I think that's the first time we've seen someone think something was AI. And then it actually having real world consequences. Like this might happen soon with a deep fake of some sort, something convincing, and might actually impact something serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like what happens if a riot starts because of a politician deep fake and like there's actual like manipulation of the masses using super, super good fakes?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a problem.
And
I think this is one of the first times we're actually seeing a real world consequence to it happening. I know they're saying 500 million, which was the dip that it caused in the stock market, is like a drop in the bucket compared to the whole fund or whatever, the S&P. But still, it's a real world consequence. It caused a $500 million dip. Mm-hmm. And like, if anything, now people are going to see this and probably try to manipulate the stock market by putting out more of these images and seeing how they would affect.
Well, I don't understand. How did the image affect? Like explain it, because I'm not well versed on the stock market. I know
instability affects the markets.
True.
So if it looks like there's some sort of attack going on,
so what I'm saying is, like, I know there was an image, right?
Yeah.
Are you guys saying the image was generated specifically to cause ruckus in the market?
We don't know.
Okay.
It probably was.
And it was shared by you said a main what is RT? What is that?
RT is it's
Russia.
Like, yeah, it's Russia, and they tweeted it, but because they were, I mean, they're not considered. I'm not saying they're a good news source. I'm not saying, but that was the only account that had a blue check mark that was confirmed. Also, a Bloomberg, fake Bloomberg blue check mark account tweeted it too, which caused a lot of the ruckus.
That's your pops, man. Get on your pops. Elon, Daddy Elon, man, get on him.
So Elon, later on today, he's doing a Twitter space with Ron DeSantis.
Okay.
To announce his bid for president.
I saw that.
Of the United States. So I guess it's official. We have debate season to look forward to between Trump and Ron.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah. Over under on the term woke being used in the.
I think Trump's just going to call him gay.
He's gonna go full stop.
He's gonna be like, this guy's gay, and then Ron is gonna be like,
that'll be it. So that's actually interesting. So he is running.
Yeah, he's officially running as of today. I just don't see if you can have Trump, why are you going? Diet Trump isn't going to beat Trump.
I don't.
In terms of Republican voters,
I think Republicans who have sense with them understand the turmoil that Trump causes. They are more so inclined to say, I like the diet Trump because he's less risky. Like, he's not going to fly off the handle. He's going to do probably worse policy-wise, or good for them anyway, but like the policies are probably going to be more intense with DeSantis, but they just don't like the circus around Trump from the Republicans that I've seen.
But here's the thing. In the debates, if there's one thing that Trump is great at, it is thoroughly emasculating his competition on stage, no matter what debate it is.
It's gonna be
Republicans,
I'm gonna
Democrats.
I ain't gonna lie.
Like the way that he talked to Biden, even in the presidential debates,
hilarious.
He's gonna do that to Ron, and then Ron is gonna look very weak, and Ron's gonna fly off the handle. He's not gonna be able to handle himself. And then
I'm interested in how he's gonna react.
And then Republican voters, I think, who would support Ron would see him getting emasculated and be like, I don't know if I can support this guy. He's the one.
If Trump was smart, he would pin down. He literally attended Yale University, played baseball there, just like the Bushes. If anyone were to get tapped to a secret society like Skull and Crossbones, which John Kerry was a part of, George Bush was a part of, Paul Giamatti was a part. I don't even know. That's just another member. We're gonna get into it later.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Illuminati coming up.
You could easily paint him as deep state, and he's just doing these things to get some Trump voters, but he's really just the establishment. You could easily like get that into the public's hands and like even on stage just like point it out.
Yeah.
That would actually think the best way to attack DeSantis from Trump's standpoint.
I'm sure he's going to have some even more wild shit than that. Like, you remember when he said Ted Cruz's dad killed Kennedy? Like, saying this guy's in Skull and Bones is child's play to Trump.
Yeah.
He would throw that. He'd be like, that would make me look weak for just like Skull and Bones. So I'm complimenting the guy. He went to Yale. Yeah. What Ron should do, he'd be like, yeah, Yale's a better school than
Trump University. Fordham to UPenn.
Trump University.
He went to Wharton.
Yeah,
too,
but
right?
But the thing is, he got in too late, where I don't think he made any secret societies.
Yeah,
because he went to another school for the first 2 years.
I am interested to see how Ron going to respond to Trump's, because like he's just relentless with it, dog.
Yeah,
but also the other dynamic is he plays
by different rules.
That's facts. And he's also not on Twitter anymore, and not a lot of people are on Truth. They check Truth for Trump.
Yep.
But nobody just. I wonder. I mean, maybe have you been on Truth?
I've not.
Have you, Big T?
No.
Because like, are people out there talking sports on Truth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, did you see Jimmy Butler go for? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I might have to sign up for Truth Social and then just get sports takes from there.
I'm pretty sure there's just a Twitter account that tweets Trump's truths.
It is, yeah,
sure,
it is. You know what? I'm gonna sign up for Truth Social right now just to get sports takes.
I've been told to go on Telegram to get viral videos before everybody else, but I don't want to dip my toe in there.
I thought that was like a WhatsApp.
Yeah, but apparently, like, there's a huge rabbit hole in there, and I just don't even want to subject myself.
Is it a
to
social media site?
Yeah,
I think no, it's a messaging
That's
app,
what I thought.
But people send things in there that like they can't post other places, so Billy wants the real shit.
Wait, is it like? Wait, do they send you? I don't understand. I thought
It's like you can have. There's probably
a feed.
There's probably like a massive group with 400,000 people in it, where they send these crazy videos that like are too hardcore
just
for
a
Twitter.
Just one of the chans.
Yeah.
Are you on any of the chans?
no, Reddit. It's kind of Chan.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't see the Chans. I just think because a lot of that's just like garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to sift through so much garbage to actually get to the good stuff.
What's the good stuff?
I don't know, like people. I don't know. Like you can find that like the good stuff gets to Reddit.
That's what you've surmised. The good 4chan stuff gets to Reddit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for example, the leak that U.S. Air Force, U.S. National Air Guard leaked. That was on Discord, got to Reddit. I mean, Discord, 4chan, then Reddit. Like,
so, I have a question for you. Do you have like a methodology, like a filter system in which you consume internet content?
Yes.
Break it down for me.
I see something.
Okay.
I say something.
Step one.
No. I mean, I do. There are a lot of far out there things that I read that I just gets into, like, causes, like, it causes a conundrum if you bring it up on the podcast. Mm-hmm. It's like, what? It's like, that's
I'm genuinely curious. This is not like a guy. I'm genuinely curious as to like your filter system or the methodology in which you assess like any kind of statement, fact, news story as true or not true. Like, do you have like a methodology in which it goes through like the Billy? All right, this is how I will.
The Billy filter is actually finds the stuff that's most alarming and like makes the best reaction to say through the mic. The Williams system is much different.
Okay, take me through that one.
That one is like actually research it, actually like before you put it out.
Are you saying you create a character for a podcast?
Well, I think it's podcasting is different than real life because people like are listening for different reasons.
That's true.
So like me bringing up Kanye West having a body double because he looks shorter, like I don't actually believe Kanye West is like replaced right now. I think he's actually just getting help, and that's why he's not alarmist. But it like adds to the podcast that this is a theory instead of just being like he's actually taking his meds and he's married and you know he's happy and with his kids.
Okay, that's good to know that you're not really like this.
I'm signing up.
Did you sign up?
I'm signing up right now. I had to give him my phone number.
What's your handle?
I haven't chosen it yet. Oh, this one that they suggested was Liberty for All.
That's not taken?
No, it's not.
PF Truth commenter.
Oh, I like that. How about just PF
Truth?
Yeah, PF Truth.
So if you're on Truth Social, find PF Truth.
Oh fuck!
Follow.
I want to make a truth now.
I'm shocked that you don't have a truth.
I don't.
I might need to go see if Big Truth is taken.
Big Truth.
I'm going for Billy Truth Ball.
Billy Truth Ball.
Look, Erica says that we need to expand to different platforms.
True.
Twitter, Instagram.
Should we have a Macrodosing Truth Social?
Yes.
That shit would be funny.
Macro Truth.
Macro Truth.
Put it on the top of linkfreeordie.us, which is still functional, by the way. You can go there and get all the macrodosing content.
What is it?
Linkfreeordie.us. You don't remember that? We bought that domain.
Renewing it.
The show's on there. Like if you go type it in right now, that'll take you to our page.
Linkfreeordie.us.
Okay, let me
for
see.
that extra dose of freedom.
I'm searching for Jimmy Butler.
Oh man, it might get weird on there.
Let's see what they say about Jimmy Butler.
I bet they love Jimmy Butler on Truth. Big country music guy.
Oh yeah,
Jimmy
raised
Butler,
by a white woman.
Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat is the son of Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
That
okay.
I told Arian about this the other night.
So Big T took me to Wogie's, and it's Wogie's. Sounds cool.
Facts.
Big T took me to Wogie's, and he's like, "Have you heard the rumor that Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son?
I have not.
And I was like, what?
Until Truth.
And so he gave me the rundown. I saw a little video on it. It's funny. It's wild. I don't know that I believe it, but it's interesting. Go ahead.
It is a little possibly plausible.
Okay.
Do you agree?
The one thing that doesn't make any sense to me is if I have a son by Michael Jordan, I'm talking if he's not paying. And the whole premise to the video that you sent me was that she disowned Jimmy Butler after the child support payments stopped from Michael Jordan. And I'm like, that just doesn't happen, because then you'd have to give up your lifestyle. So if that's the case, she would have went the legal route and said, no, you're going to give me the child support payments, rather than, and we would have heard about it in court, rather than her saying, well, the child support payments stopped, I don't have anything to do with it anymore. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Listen, I'm not saying I believe it. I'm just saying I think it's plausible. They look similar. They look kind of similar.
There were a couple pictures that they showed side by side where I'm like, it's possible. Right. But I also don't know what his mom looks like, so I didn't have anything to juxtapose it with.
And he's a fucking killer.
That's true.
World-class basketball player, obviously. He does have the dog.
If Michael Jordan's his father, then the dog is genetic.
Well, no, because his sons ain't really like that. His known sons that we know of ain't really like that on the basketball court, which is wild.
Who was the one that played it like Wyoming? He was trash.
I thought it was Cincinnati.
There might be a
wasn't
couple.
It Florida, Central Florida, UCF?
I thought there was only one that was really balling like that, and he played for Cincinnati.
It was Jeffrey, right?
I think so.
Well, they were probably pampered dogs. That's different than
pampered
than
dogs.
Abandoned.
Got you.
Yeah.
Their
dog wasn't. The dog wasn't allowed to run.
The dogs that be in like white women bags.
Oh, Marcus.
Was he at
Marcus?
UCF?
He was at Cincinnati. Huh?
Oh, so there's Marcus and Jeffrey. Jeffrey played at Illinois and UCF. I thought somebody played at Wyoming.
I swore somebody played at Cincinnati.
Hang on, I'm looking up Marcus.
UC, I think.
I thought it was.
So wait, Big T.
Marcus also played at UCF.
In this theory, does Jimmy Butler know that he is Michael Jordan's son?
I don't know. He doesn't know who his dad is.
Okay.
And there were rumors in the 90s that Michael Jordan had a son that he like disassociated from and didn't like really know about.
There were rumors.
So I don't think Jimmy Butler looks anything like LeBron James or like Michael Jordan.
I think there's a couple pictures where they look kind of similar.
There's a couple pictures.
I'm not saying he's like a spitting image of him.
Yeah, no, it's nothing that strikes me as like, okay, that's it for sure.
But when they do the half face of each, they look kind of similar. It's an interesting theory.
I'm on board for it. I got so much truth out of Truth Social already.
I don't love that it's on Truth.
I've seen on Twitter and Reddit.
Yeah. I thought this is a pretty mainstream conspiracy, if you want to call it that.
I need to get back into the conspiracies here because I was not aware of that.
Yeah,
I'm also seeing there's pictures of Bronny. He's got the 999 tattoo behind his ear. Truth Social is all over that. Satanist, occultism. 666 upside down.
These are the sports takes on Truth right now.
There's some hot.
Give us some more.
Mostly just LeBron takes, really.
They hate him.
A lot of La China.
Yeah,
a lot of that.
Okay.
LeBron said, "I took Pilates classes, yoga classes, swimming at auditoriums back home. I can't tell you exactly where it's at. It's a secret place. We hold a secret society over there. We don't tell too many people." So now they're saying that LeBron is into Freemasons.
We're gonna get into that later.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
one thing that LeBron did that I'm very curious as to what he's doing.
Am I giving my number?
You think he's retiring?
No. I was talking about like this hand gesture he does. Like I don't understand what he's doing. Like I would like to know. Like I would like to ask him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like the Jay.
He does that, and then he does like this whole like thing. Like I know that's the Rock. Rock, but he'll like hands in a diamond, and he does like I'll find a video and we post it. But like I saw because like I see a lot of them Jay-Z's The Devil and Beyonce. I see all that shit. And I seen a LeBron one time, and I was like, what is that though? Like I don't think I don't think there is an Illuminati. We'll get into that, but
I found another good truth.
Okay. shoot it.
Hunter Biden laptop emails show LeBron James and Magic Johnson caught colluding.
Okay. That is two worlds I never thought were going to collide.
I love it.
And then
I love it.
And then the reply, LeBron is treason and a traitor. Magic Johnson is a treason and a traitor. What is the punishment for treason? And then Thinky Face. Talk about killing LeBron
definitely killing LeBron James.
So, wait,
what is Magic? Why don't they like Magic Johnson?
They're caught colluding with the CCP. Now,
Magic Johnson?
You don't have to look at Hunter Biden's laptop to get evidence of LeBron James doing business with China.
Yeah.
It's pretty open that every player that makes a deal with Nike or most shoe companies, they've got money coming in from China. Also, just the NBA in general, they make a shitload of money off appealing to a Chinese audience, and they've shown in the past that they will actually change their content and they'll bend over backwards to appease China so that their games can get played there. Those are all valid criticisms. But what is Hunter? How did they manage to insert Hunter into this?
Well, Hunter's been getting payments from China.
I thought it was fucking you guys. It's
Dude,
so hard to keep
lot.
up with all this. So
There's
he's just getting
Dude,
mad.
basically, he's like, if you want access to Joe Biden and influence on his foreign policy, just get his crackhead
hold on,
son
didn't they have an
money.
investigation on this?
Yeah.
And what came of it?
Bad stuff.
I'm listening.
What's more likely, Billy? And I don't know the answer to this.
I didn't look at the
that maybe Hunter Biden is, as a crackhead, he's trying to get money to support his crack habit. Or do you think he's operating like a legitimate business where he's got QuickBooks and he's like, okay, well, she gave me all this money, and so I need to make sure to take exactly my 10% out. I'll put that on my W-2 at the end of the year, or my 1099, and then I'll give the rest of the money to the big guy, and then I'll just use that 10% on my crack. Of all the crackheads you know, what would be the most likely explanation for that? I'd say probably that he's spending it on crack.
Well, I think he's getting so much that crack's only about 5%.
Wait, time out. Is he a crackhead though?
He's in recovery. I don't mean to make fun of addict. Like,
yeah.
Sorry. Like, addiction is an issue that a lot of families deal with. And anyway, moving on. I don't think he's doing, like, crack's not that expensive for the budget he's getting.
Yeah. Can you do recreational crack?
Yes, that's what Carl Hart was talking about.
Oh yeah,
Carl Hart. We need to get into that. His philosophy that addiction is not genetic, but rather there's a compounding
trauma.
There's a compounding variable that causes it is fascinating.
Yeah,
and there's some they're saying that there's some autoimmune disorders and leaky gut type stuff that may be the true cause of addiction.
Well, his whole thing was there's not a real true definition. If I was to say you're addicted, that encompasses a lot more than what you would just think off the top.
There's no addiction gene.
It's just trying to define and give it borders is just way harder than you would think, when you start to dive into it. I was watching these videos on it, and it's when you think about what addiction is, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what it is, and so it's hard to categorize it. And that was his whole point.
Mm-hmm. You guys want to get into Illuminati shit?
Hell yeah! I just made my Billy Truthball account.
I love it.
Looking for the truth.
Here's one. LeBron is a racist. And this guy put up a meme. It's a gas tank, but instead of gas, it says white guilt. And his white guilt is on empty. So he doesn't have any white guilt. He says, none of my ancestors owned slaves, nor did 95% of white Americans during the years of slavery. White Republicans died in the Civil War to free slaves. White Republicans voted unanimously to free the slaves, later voted to give them citizenship and voting rights. Democrats fought against all three of these amendments. That's on Truth Social. I don't know what the actual percentage is. I think a lot of people might be shocked to look back into their own family history, and there might be some rocks that you don't want to turn over.
You know, it's crazy. Well, I mean, West Virginia, that was the whole reason they seceded from the South.
Yep.
Was because they're like, we don't have, we live in the mountains. We don't have large farms.
Was it Kansas-Nebraska Act? Was that the crazy one where the government said, we don't want to get involved? The government basically said, I don't want to get political with it, so I don't want to make a decision. But my decision is that whichever these states don't have any population right now. We're going to open it up, and then we're going to let the new people that get out there vote on whether or not those are going to be slave states or not. And then there was a rush, had a big war, and basically just used that to determine whether or not slavery was going to expand.
If I follow you on truth, will you follow me back?
No.
Oh, fuck.
No, I don't fall back. Sorry. I got to keep my ratio clean, Billy.
Is your account up?
My account's up right now. But I'm just lurking.
Is it PF Truth?
It's PF Truth. I'm PF Truth.
I'm going to follow you, but if you don't follow me back, I'm not.
That's hilarious.
You can follow me. I'll consider it.
Okay, look at my page. It's actually pretty cool.
No, I don't want to.
I put my banner as a Gigantopithecus.
This is the beginning of Billy actually getting deep into
he's gonna get sucked in for
I want to hear the truth about Gigantopithecus, which might lead us to Bigfoot.
All right, so let's discuss some Illuminati. Let's get on our bullshit about the Illuminati.
Let's do it.
When I say Illuminati, what do you guys think? Billy, you're not answering because you did a lot of research on it, so you're going to give me like a real answer. Before today, Billy, what did you think of the Illuminati?
No, I did too much research. I knew about the Illuminati like way early.
Yeah, what did you think about them?
I mean, it originally, when Watch the Throne came out, that was one of my first introductions.
2011.
Yes, I was 12.
Okay.
And all the symbolism and stuff. And B.O.B. was...
Flat Earther.
Yeah. And like that whole, I was really into, that was, in my opinion, like just because of nostalgia, that's like my favorite rap period. Mm-hmm. Like that early, late 2000s, early 2010s.
That's his 90s.
That's
his golden
But like
era.
that's when Rick Ross, like that's...
No, I understand. Yeah, I have that
still,
era myself.
Yeah, that people were still going hard on the track instead of just like mumbling, you know?
Hey brother, you're preaching to the choir, man.
Yeah. But they were like getting into it, and then like Eminem was talking about Illuminati, and like My Darling came out, and like everyone thought Eminem sold his soul.
That's what y'all thought.
Yeah.
I remember when My Darling came out.
Yeah.
I was like, what a cool voice trick.
Yeah. But it was like the devil's talking to him. Like, did he sell his soul to the devil for fame and fortune? And that's when I started getting into it.
It's also interesting at what juncture of your life, the Illuminati or the thought of it has entered your life. And,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like right now, it would be hard to penetrate you as an adult to be like, this guy worships the devil, or this guy is a part of a secret cabal. It'll be hard for like you to accept that. As when we were younger, we're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. A lot of symbolism.
My introduction was Vanilla Ice. I remember listening to
I've never heard this one.
He was talking about the Illuminati and how there's like a secret society that runs the world.
In his songs?
No.
I was like, I missed these tracks. Let me double back.
In an interview, and he took out. I'm seeing if I have any cash on me. I don't have any cash on me right now.
Oh, he took out a
dollar bill, and he's like, see this? See the eye that's on top of the pyramid? That's the Illuminati right there, and they're running your life, and you don't even know it. And I was like, damn, Vanilla Ice.
Or the owl that's perched in the $20 bill.
Yeah.
Yep. I had a different experience with the dollar bill. Like my dad was like super into like Freemasonry or studying it. Like he was like super into it, and so I don't even know if any of this is true. But he was saying that he was showing me what all the symbols meant. Like I was like 10 or something like that. He was showing me what all that meant, and the eye he never associated with the Illuminati. He was just, I guess, the all-seeing and eye, representative of like watching a society. And so I never really viewed it as the Illuminati. My first introduction to the Illuminati actually was I think I was in college, maybe. When did the Black Album come out?
Metallica?
No, Jay-Z.
Two Americas. I don't know. I want to say late 2000s.
Okay, yeah, something like that. There was this preacher that played Jay-Z's
2003.
There you go. That played one of Jay-Z's songs backwards, and in the church it was like he played it, and like this is on YouTube now, and when he played it backwards, it said 666 and all kind of like mumbo jumbo, and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And like he was like, "This is what I'm talking about. Y'all don't know the content you're consuming. This is work of the devil." And I was like, "Yo, that's crazy." And so I had this little program that would take audio and reverse it, And of course, I couldn't get the same thing to happen. But that was my first introduction. I'm like, yo, Jay-Z's the devil, yo. This is wild. That was my introduction. What was your introduction of the Illuminati, Big T?
Pop culture, I guess. Like just hearing about it.
Right.
I don't know that nothing formal like that.
Got you.
Money has a lot of symbology on it. It's the eye of providence. That's the eye that's on top of the pyramid. And
allegedly, Big T.
It's Masonic.
It's Masonic. It's a Masonic symbol. What about the lady with the Monster energy drink? Do you remember her?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
This lady is my hero.
Yeah.
Big T, you know what I'm talking about too?
I do not.
Oh,
you never heard the Monster? We might need a cut to let you watch it, actually.
Yeah.
No, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I do. The three thing.
I still want to watch it. I'm going to play it and
I do think Monster did that on purpose.
Okay, here we go. Monster energy woman.
Like the same way a metal album.
Woman says why she believes Monster energy drinks are from Satan.
She had me. I ain't gonna lie. I don't believe it.
Okay, here we go.
Look at your M closely. There's a gap right here in the letter M. It's never connected. So you go into Hebrew. The letter Vav is also the number 6. Short top, long tail. Short top, long tail. You could have here in Hebrew 666 on the can. But my interest is the word monster. What do you see in the O? There's a cross.
Okay.
What has Christ got to do with an energy drink, let alone the name Monster? So I thought, well, maybe this is a Christian company then. BFC at the bottom of the can. Do you know what that stands for? That's the F word. Big can. In fact, they write it on the side of the can, so I know that's the F word.
Okay.
Now, do you know what a MILF is?
Yes.
That's on the box. MILFs dig it, and you will too. This is not a Christian company at all. So why would they have put a cross on the can? Here is the message. Antichrist. 666 in Hebrew. And then the Bible talks about the beast in Revelation. And look at Monster's ad. This is their statement. You see these M's everywhere. Hats, t-shirts, bumper stickers. Is there another agenda here? If God can use people and product, so can Satan. And look at it this way. Even if the M was not the issue, you cannot deny that that is a cross. And what is witchcraft? When the cross goes upside down.
Bottoms up.
I think that I actually believe that Monster did that on purpose. I don't think that's that far-fetched that the symbol, like, yes, that's far, but like this the brand logo, I think it's supposed to be like Monster, Satanism, the same way that like death metal uses satanic imagery.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna say,
I don't think so.
This one was kind of bad.
Like bad as in
good.
Got you thinking about.
She's got me thinking about all sorts of things.
Okay.
I think this woman's the devil the thought that she's putting in my head right now. I gotta stay away from her.
I loved her. Like that's why I was I want to reverse engineer a conspiracy theory like that, dog.
Mm-hmm.
We just make one up. That should be fun as hell to do.
Well, remember we did that in our own logo.
Oh yeah, we did.
There's hidden
There's a lot of hidden imagery. Like look at that UFO.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the eye.
Yeah, we've got the eye of providence right there on it.
And it's kind of looks like a penis too.
Yeah.
Are we just trying to make people horny through our podcasting?
Yes, always. That's the goal. So okay, Arian brought up Masonry. There's a big there are correlations between the Illuminati and the Freemasons.
Mm-hmm.
So it was started. Bill, you want to tell us when the Illuminati was allegedly started? It was after the Enlightenment, or it was late Enlightenment, right?
I want to just say we're gonna skip a lot of people. There's some other groups from more ancient times in other religions that like basically their name translates to enlightened, but the word Illuminati, which is Latin, which means the enlightened. I remember actually I had a Latin teacher once, and he heard me talking about Illuminati, and he was like, that's actually a Latin word. It's broken down in this exact conjugation. Like it means those who are enlightened. And that organization was born in 1748. Now this, I'm going to give the Encyclopedia Britannica breakdown, which is, I think we can all trust that's a good source.
I agree.
But there's some stuff that there's some editor's notes that are very interesting, and we'll delve into that.
Okay.
So, born in 1748 in Ingolstadt, a city in the electorate of Bavaria. So Bavaria is southern Germany. Johann Adam Weishaupt was a German philosopher, professor of civil law, and later canon law. And he is said to be the founder of the Illuminati. Mm-hmm. So if we can imagine back then, the church was so involved in everything, especially in education and free thought.
The church was pretty much the government.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Weishaupt was orphaned at a young age. His scholarly uncle took care of his education and enrolled him in a Jesuit school. After completing his studies, Weishaupt became professor of natural and canon law at the University of Ingolstadt, married and started a family. Now, here's the thing. Weishaupt was a descendant of Jewish converts to Christianity. We're like basically conspiracy, like especially like the alt-right tries to make Illuminati basically contiguous with Jewish people. Mm-hmm. I think that actually is a way that we actually will like never get the Illuminati, because they'll try to make it anti-Semitic when really it's like a bunch of different people.
Mm-hmm. Irish.
Yeah. Like, but it's interesting.
Didn't he originally start it because he couldn't afford, I think it was like an initiation fee for like, I think it was Freemasonry.
Yeah.
I think that's where he started it, because he was like,
there was a beef that they had.
Yeah.
For sure. So Freemasonry was relatively new. Mm-hmm. And it was essentially,
the same thing.
It was laborers, people that were architects, things like that, worked with their hands. And they started Freemasonry just basically as a frat.
Yeah.
For like,
well, really it was to avoid persecution by the church. So you could talk about stuff like science, like you know, how the world really works, without being like, no, God made everything, stop. Yep. So Weishaupt was
also just dudes only, which is why I said it was like a frat. You would just get together and have conversations and drink some beers and so forth,
and have a secret handshake.
Yeah.
So part of the Enlightenment,
He-Man Woman Hater Club.
Part of the Enlightenment was this idea that people were losing religion because they realized how hypocritical the Catholic Church was. So Weishaupt was convinced that religious ideas were no longer an adequate belief system to govern modern societies. He decided to form another type of illumination, a set of ideas and practices that were applied to radically change the way European states were run. So the group that was most closely associated with the name Illuminati was a short-lived movement of Republican free thought founded on May Day 1776 by Adam Weishaupt. Interesting. Same year that America became a country. Professor of canon law, the members of his secret society called themselves perfectibilists. Their founder's aim was to replace Christianity with a religion of reason, as later did the revolutionaries of France in the 19th century. Positive philosopher Auguste Comte. The order was organized along Jesuit lines and kept eternal discipline in a system of mutual surveillance based on that model. Its members pledged obedience to their superiors and were divided into three main classes. The first included novices, Minervals, and lesser Illuminati. The second consisted of Freemasons, ordinary, Scottish, and Scottish Knights. And the third, or mystery class, comprised of two grades of priest and regent, as well as magus and king. So he started with a narrow circle of disciples carefully selected from among his own students. Weishaupt then extended his recruitment efforts from Ingolstadt to Eichstätt, Freising, and Munich, and elsewhere, with special attention being given to the enlistment of young men of wealth, rank, and social importance. From 1778 onward, Weishaupt's Illuminati began to make contact with various Masonic lodges, where under the impulse of Adolf Franz Friedrich Freiherr von
not important. Keep
one of their chief converts, they often managed to gain a commanding position. It was this guy's name. It was Freiherr von Knegi that the society was indebted for the extremely elaborate constitution, never, however, actually realized, as well as the internal communication system. Each member of the order had given him special name, generally classical, which by he alone was addressed in official writing. Weishaupt was referred to as Spartacus, while Knegi was Philo. All internal correspondence was conducted in cipher, and to increase the mystification, towns and provinces were invested with new and altogether arbitrary designations. So during this time, the Bavarian Illuminati basically was recruiting people, starting with his own staff, and then the Masonic system became a good way to spread the word of the Illuminati, this society that was basically gathering to help to secularize the governments and systems that
and science
took place in Bavaria, so that stuff was being run more efficiently and not inefficiently because of the church.
Okay.
I think the interesting part is like it never exceeded like more than 2,000 members.
Yeah.
That's we're just going off of the information that we have.
So at the beginning of it, at its genesis, the Illuminati was like they were a startup.
Yeah.
They were like underdogs. Okay.
Exactly. So basically, they got a bunch of members of Bavarian government, high-ranking individuals.
They would infiltrate
royalty.
like other like groups, like political offices, Freemasons, in order to recruit people.
Now, they gave a whole list of people that none of you will probably recognize their names, of royals and stuff. But
I'd like to hear you pronounce them, though.
I'm doing pretty good on these Bavarian names. I will say. Not good at other ones. But basically, editor's note, the article originally presented Mayer Amschel Rothschild as a founder and member of the Bavarian Illuminati. Upon further research, we have found no historical evidence to back up that claim and have corrected the text. I have a feeling that if I was in the Rothschild family and I wanted to sort of stop all the crazy conspiracies about them, which a lot of them are anti-Semitic and unfair to them, they'd probably try their hardest to get the name taken off the Illuminati Encyclopedia Britannica page.
The Rothschilds?
Yeah. They had a huge banking network. So that's the official history. I sifted through all the trash of all the crazy Illuminati stuff, like crazy theories about how basically the Rothschilds and the Illuminati together expanded their banking empire in order to influence different countries. There's crazy conspiracies that the French Revolution was entirely an Illuminati concoction in order to put in place a bank that was controlled by the Rothschilds in France. And then other crazy stuff like one of the czars swore that he would never allow their banking system to control their government. And then the Rothschilds swore that they'd make sure they'd take out one of their descendants, and that's what caused the Russian Revolution. They basically said that every revolution was because of the Illuminati
one family
and the Rothschilds trying to create a global banking empire.
So talk about the French Revolution. That is probably deserving of its own episode. But it was basically a peasant uprising that took place in France, where they stormed the Bastille, they executed the king, and they implemented a leftist government. It was the Jacobins, they were the leftists, and then, I'm forgetting the name of the other party. But the Jacobins took over. It was a leftist revolution trying to give power back to the people. It became very, very, very corrupt. The way that they were running things, they were doing like stipends on how much grain you could buy, how much food you could buy. And they were executing anybody that did not, that if their revolutionary credentials were even questioned, they would chop their heads off.
Friedrich Jacobi, who the Jacobians followed, was also said to be Illuminati member.
Jacobin, yeah.
Yeah. Friedrich Jacobi?
Yeah.
Is that a different guy? Okay. But anyway, the thing is, the Illuminati then got persecuted because they basically thought that they were causing the French Revolution, the German Empire, whatever kingdom that they were under, basically started to put to death anyone who's associated with the Illuminati. And this is where they think a lot of it went underground. So there was internal dissension, and it was banned by the Bavarian government in 1785. Some members were imprisoned, where others were driven from their homes. A great place to go if you're persecuted in Europe at this time was America. Weishaupt was stripped of his chair and banished from Bavaria. The historical record contains no further activities of the Illuminati after 1785. Them going underground kind of caused, this absence of what they were doing. And it was a secret society. Everyone's thinking, oh, that's when they had to go secret and then infiltrate the rest of the world. But I think that the Illuminati and Freemasonry, the reason why they're connected to so many revolutions is because they just spread ideas of human rights and like inalienable freedoms.
That's probably true. I would think that if the Illuminati at the time was really, as some conspiracies say, the ones that had, that controlled the world, that were an exclusive club to get into, that could, overthrow countries at the drop of a hat, you would think that they'd make it a little bit more difficult to get into the Illuminati, right?
Yeah.
Now it was just, some cool person? Okay, yeah, get them in our club.
So
you would think that they'd be more selective about who's allowed to know these great rules.
That was my man, like my man's. I was trying to convince him that he was bugging, and this was not to talk about this, but this is what we were talking about. We was talking about like the vaccines and how he originally thought that the vaccines had, because he saw nanoparticles, which is true, but he thought they were like tiny robots that we were getting injected with that can eventually hook onto our brains and control us,
be activated,
yeah, all of that shit. So, but basically, I was like, okay, fam, if you think like there's a secret government plot and these high up people who are willing to kill for their secret, right? How did you get a hold of their game plan? Like, how did you get a hold of it? Of all people, like he had no answer.
YouTube.
For that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So some of the things that the Bavarian government found, documents that they saw them discussing, was the documents were just ideas of atheism, defense of suicide, and a plan to create a female branch of the order, invisible ink recipes, and medical instructions for carrying out abortions. So at that time, that stuff was very underground, and probably, as we see today, some of them had roles in society, and they were probably disseminating that information to their members. So
they just wanted rights.
I want to get my hands on an invisible ink recipe.
Oh, lemon juice.
Just lemon juice? Just write in lemon juice?
Yeah, and then you just put a light up to it. That's the easiest.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And then you can like...
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna fact check on that real quick, man.
Yeah, lemon juice. That's... I think I saw that in an episode of like Arthur.
Okay.
The animated PBS show.
Okay.
Arthur Illuminati.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Real quick, I might have some breaking news.
Okay.
Have we discussed Tina Turner on this show recently?
No, she didn't die.
She died.
Yeah. No.
And I'm seeing some tweets.
Oh no.
That I vaguely remember saying something.
Oh, we might have talked about her
during our voice discussion.
Yeah, the best.
Who's
voices.
the best female vocalist?
That's
shit.
Yeah,
did we
I
really?
think we did.
I need confirmation. Did we really?
I'm seeing some tweets. The listeners remember better than I do. But
fuck, damn.
She is passed on. Rest in peace.
Oh, no.
R.I.P. Tina Turner, man. Damn.
I'm seeing some people say wrong Turner.
I know. I
saw that tweet. I didn't understand it.
I said Ike Turner.
Oh, Ted Turner.
Right.
I don't remember talking about Tina Turner, honestly.
I think we might have.
It's possible.
Yeah, I think maybe way back in the multiple Dolly Parton discussions we've been in.
Yeah, because we were talking about the greatest vocalist. I'm pretty sure her name got brought up there.
Got you.
Queen of rock and roll. Yeah,
I might have confused her wife her husband with somebody too.
Tina Turner, singer of explosive power and wide reach. We definitely discussed her.
Maybe. It's possible.
I mean, it's getting to be to the point that you can't ignore it now. It's bad news.
Yeah,
Ted Turner, please rest up. I mean, maybe don't. I don't know if that.
Go touch Jimmy Carter, because for some reason he's
Ted Turner, Jimmy Carter. Y'all go. Ted Turner, go to Jimmy Carter's house, and y'all just go do something fun. Go get ice cream or something.
Jimmy Turner and Magic Johnson just sitting around swapping medical secrets.
Oh, did you see that guy, that billionaire? I brought him up before. He's getting blood transfusions from his 17-year-old son.
I saw that. He's not a billionaire.
Multi-millionaire.
Yeah,
everyone likes to mention that because he's just under.
Yeah.
And billionaires are like, he's not a billionaire yet.
It's true.
That's awesome. Who is it?
He was like was he the Cash App guy?
I don't know.
No. But he's the same guy. I actually got into a Twitter fight with him because he's been doing all this anti-aging stuff and like spending millions of dollars a year to make himself healthy. And then he posted his Whoop stats.
Oh, that's the guy.
Yeah, and his Whoop stats, his HRV sucked. It was only 60. And I'm just like, yo, dude, your heart rate variability is 60 and you're spending all this money on like exercising, trying to like become young again. But like an HRV of 60 is like me when I've drank in 20 beers the night before.
But imagine just like trying to live and exist, and then some dude on Twitter is like, "This is fucking ass. You about to die."
Well, he's tweeting about it. He's tweeting about how great his HRV is, and I'm like, "Yo, dude, your HRV sucks."
But also, Billy, just know that Billy just has absolutely no foresight or big picture recognition of anything, because Billy, how old are you again?
24.
You're 24.
No, but there's like
your
24.
Your heart is
I
gonna
know,
be.
I'm getting old, right?
Your heart is gonna be way
No,
healthier.
that's young as fuck.
I started at 20. I started this podcast at 21.
You're gonna be your heart is gonna be so much healthier than anybody that's in their 30s.
Right.
Time out. This
When
podcast
you
has
get-
been going for 3 years.
2.5.
Well, not quite. It started in March, right?
February.
Two in a couple months.
That's kind of wild. though.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't-
is. But Billy,
Well, I just turned 22.
when you get into your 30s,
Shit.
all this shit is gonna happen to you.
So my uncle,
Probably
who-
worse though, because of all the shit that you take.
My uncle who
I hope not though.
was a cyclist. I mean, my uncle who had a heart attack and now is in his 40s and works out a lot. His HRV is way better than this dude's. I know it's also genetic, but like if you're working out, like doing cardio, like, you know, trying to be is like a health freak, your HRV should easily be over 100.
Well, there's also a difference between your resting HRV, like when you're asleep,
Right.
What is an HRV?
it dips down. It's your heart rate variability.
It's basically, physics. Velocity is your heart rate, like your beats per minute. HRV is your acceleration, I would want to say. No, you know what?
We're gonna get so many people listening to this that are like, Billy has no idea what he's talking about.
It's
Billy
a,
just knows it's a number that
it's a
that
function.
big is good.
It's a function from. It's a derivative of a function that has to do with your heartbeat.
Can I tell you what it actually is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, you went to school for this.
So
shit.
no,
You're a
we
D
did-
plus.
We didn't study HRV in my EKG class, but heart rate variability. Billy, I'm trying to actually you don't need to look it up. I'm going to explain it to you. It's
He wants to look it up so bad.
when you have a relatively steady heart rate, there's still small differences in between each beat. It's not like a perfectly timed metronome.
Sure.
It fluctuates. And when your heart rate variability is higher, that means that your body is spending more of its energy on
Correcting the.
it's able to correct other things that are going on in your body. So if your heart is perfectly at a metronome in time, then that means that your body is focusing all of its energy on making sure that your heart is okay. And so if you have a low heart rate variability, if it's perfectly in sync all the time, that's your body being like, the heart, it feels like it's not doing so great right now. So we're going to spend all of our time helping the heart.
Yeah, I'm probably shit because I got atrial fibrillation.
Oh, you have AFib? You're going to get an ablation?
Unless it gets to a point, like I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm not making fun of like anyone's HRV, but if you're
You
spending
definitely made fun of his HRV.
Yeah, but if you're writing articles about how you're spending $2 million a year on yourself and that you're getting blood transfusions from your 17-year-old son, I'm going to chirp your HRV.
As you did, yeah.
Mine-
I'm not saying it's just what it is, man.
Mine
It's some dude
fluctuates.
trying to live, and you're like, "Hey, buddy."
No, he's not trying to live. He's trying to tell everybody how he's trying to tell everyone how to live, how he's living.
Yeah.
So like I'm allowed to chirp his HRV
What is
I've had
yours,
it.
Billy?
right now after
You got your
not
what
getting
is it,
that
the whoopee
'cause
stats.
mine's after getting 4 hours of sleep, it's 72.
So I mean, he's double your age. That's pretty
Yeah, but,
good
like,
HRV.
If I get good night's sleep
How do you know he didn't
and
get a
not
good night's
drink
sleep?
for the night before, I'm like easily over 100.
But right now you're not.
Right, but like last week,
I'm just saying he could chirp you back and say, "What's up with your HRV?" 24-year-old.
yeah, mine's but like
Just
that's
saying, I'm
that's
just
after
saying.
doing a lot Illuminati research till 2 a.m.
I'm
Did
just
you guys see my
saying you're
text?
throwing a lot of stones from a glass house, the heart house.
Since midnight today, mine has gone from 121 to 16 to 81 to 35.
Yeah,
It fluctuates like that.
but mine's
There's no way I need to know this shit. I
Yeah.
have anxiety. There's
yeah.
no way I need. I'm not doing
What
this.
it
Hell no.
is,
I don't give a
it's
fuck
another
what my
number
HRV is.
that will scare you if
Yeah.
it doesn't look good for a day.
Like when I'm like when I'm in a panic attack, I'll always check my heart rate,
Yeah.
and that shit fucks me up. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it'll be like 130. I'm like, oh fuck this.
so I found a direct correlation between my HRV and mood
And the cocaine
anxiety.
that I use.
It makes that shit go wild.
No, Billy's piss came back clean.
It did.
Actually, so that faint line,
Yeah.
we checked it out. So I took Benadryl because I was starting to get hives again one night. And I took Benadryl the night before, and Benadryl can cause a false positive for one of the tests.
Yeah, so when I was reading the results back, there was one very faint line on it, and I looked up what it was correlated to. I forget what I said on the podcast, but I lied about which one it was connected to. Okay. Because it was connected to something that said, like, try something antidepressants, and I was like, oh, if Billy takes antidepressants, I don't want to put his shit out. So I said it was like a different drug, and then Billy came up to me. He's like, so I was looking up that I've been taking Benadryl, and I was worried that the try whatever antidepressant thing was going to light up, and I was like, well, that was by far the faintest line on there. I just didn't want people to know, like, it's not their business if Billy's taking prescriptions. But it's the Benadryl.
Tricyclic antidepressants turns out aren't used anymore. I was just Googling it because they get abused and they're like bad for you.
Okay.
So they use like SSRIs now.
Shout out to you for not doing cocaine though.
Well, now there's haters saying I could have got it out of my system. The haters like, we know you worked out. Like,
is that haters or is that science saying
That's
that?
science.
Yeah.
No, but
Billy was clean. He has not failed a drug. Billy and Barry Bonds, handshake, never failed a drug test. Both clean.
Love to see it.
On that, turns out Conor McGregor is getting back into the USDA drug testing pool again, which means he's might fight again soon. Which also means that
I never thought it was that nice like that.
Oh, have you seen him recently? Mm-mm. Yeah, he's gotten ballooned.
Like fat?
No, like he's on more juice than
big.
A grade A.
I also didn't watch him that much.
USDA
I guess he was okay. I don't know.
His fights were hyped. They were hyped.
I saw him. I know he's like a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, and I saw him box, and I put those two together. And I was like, was he ever like a champion like that? Did he ever win?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll shut up. I don't know shit about it.
Yeah, in the UFC, I mean, he's not a professional boxer.
Yeah, no, I saw it. It was very clear he wasn't.
Yeah, like like Mayweather let him hang in there for a while.
Well, for money. But like, yeah, no, I'll shut up. I'll rescind all that. I don't know enough.
He might come here and beat your ass.
I ain't scared. It's whatever.
No, he would beat your ass.
That's what's up. What's up? I mean, shit. What are you, like 120, 130?
No, he'd put you in a pretzel.
How old is he? I mean, how much does he weigh?
Probably like walks around at 185. He's actually probably
185.
He's probably.
There's no way he boxed Mayweather at 185 and he was.
Well, he dropped down to 155. He like, trust me, this dude.
I know if you go into a fight thinking a dude can whoop you, you done.
Yeah, so I understand that, but
yeah. Probably, yeah, he might get me. You never know.
You always gotta think you're the baddest motherfucker.
That's facts.
Yeah.
I'm looking on Truth Social for Illuminati, and somebody found an Illuminati card game, like Magic the Gathering from 1994.
Yes, so that was part. So that was actually reunited. That got back into the national consciousness, the Illuminati, because there's a series of books. So this is where a lot of like
it was the 70s, the books in the 70s.
Yeah,
Before we get to the books in the 70s, you mind if I take a piss?
Yeah.
All right.
In a cup.
No.
Hey, let's go get another piss test. Test that piss.
You want to test my piss? Okay, so there was the Illuminati that started in the Enlightenment, persisted throughout Europe. It spread through various lodges, secret societies, kind of as an underdog for a little bit, it sounds like. And then, Billy, you said that they made their way to the United States when they were fleeing various countries in Europe.
Well, I think there's nothing recorded on that, and this is where the gray area causes malicious conspiracies to arise. But I think in reality, the Illuminati were one of many groups at the time trying to disseminate information that the church wanted suppressed, be it about abortions, probably like decent science. We saw like science that could actually save people, like the idea that there might be like little animals in your body that.
When was Copernicus? What years were that?
That was I think the start of
around the same time, wasn't it?
It was the start of the Enlightenment, I think. Yeah. And the church, they killed him, right? Because he said, or was he the one that repented? Either Galileo or Copernicus.
Copernicus was saying
somebody got killed.
We're not the center of the solar system
of the universe. Yeah, and the sun is. He was the big sun guy.
The sun is the center of the solar system.
Heliocentric.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. You landed that.
I like that word.
You landed that.
It is a good word. Is it fun to say?
It is.
What's on your list? This is a good side discussion. What is on the list of words that are fun to say?
I have my number one.
Oh, it's like
I knew when you said that I was going to bring that up if he didn't.
Okay, go ahead.
Couplet.
Ooh.
Couplet.
Best word to say.
Couplet. I like it.
Ooh,
Mine is majestic.
Ooh.
I like saying majestic.
Majestic.
I have an intrusive thought.
What?
And it's gonna piss
Cantaloupe
off
is
some
pretty
people.
too.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like
Cantaloupe
cantaloupe.
is fun to
Cantaloupe
say.
is fun.
I don't understand why there's certain people that don't like the word
Moist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moist?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't like moist.
You know
just
exactly why there's people who don't like that word.
But they just get they get irrationally angry about it. I have no
I
idea
like
why.
moist is cool. Moist is a cool
Why
word.
do you? I have no idea. What is it?
He's talking about vaginas, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, you know exactly why.
I think of moss.
With a vagina?
You think of mossy vagina?
No, like
What?
when the word moist. With the word moist, I think of like moss on a rock, and you sit on the rock, and
okay.
it's like
All right.
moist.
That's what
That makes more sense.
Both of those are wild things to think of when you think of moist.
Anyway, it's probably a lot of people cringing right now. Back to the
Wait,
Illuminati.
I want to know more words that are satisfying to say.
I like words that are like roller coasters, like Illuminati.
Yeah. A lot of people like the word penultimate.
Penultimate.
Penultimate is a good
Are
one.
you saying
Heliocentric.
just multiple syllables is what you
Yeah,
You're
I
just
know.
doing this when you as you say words.
That's because
Wall.
my mouth goes woo.
I like saying
road?
No, that's not fun.
plethora.
that's like straight. They have plethora.
Plethora is a good word.
I think
to say.
they're just syllables. You just
Yeah,
like
I like-
multiple syllable
I like
words.
alliteration syllables.
Okay.
Poconos.
Multisyllabic. That's a good
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Poconos, Bahamas, no.
You're just naming words that have more than one
That's
syllable.
what
Yeah.
I don't. There's no connection.
But there's like different.
Most
they,
words.
They like
Yeah.
you're like
Almost
bouncing
all of
around.
them.
Ironically, neither of most or words.
There's people out there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, here's a good one. Hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo.
The cacophony. Another good
Oh,
one.
that's a really good one.
Ooh.
Cacophony is a great one.
Hahocus.
Hahocus?
That's just a place in Jersey.
Oh, well, it's still a word, I guess.
Yeah.
Incandescent is fun to say.
Ooh, along that line, I taught my kids this, and they love it. So like, we have this. I have this AI app on Discord actually, Midjourney.
Ooh.
That like does like I think we talked about it. That did the fluffy unicorn.
Yeah.
I taught them this word, and everything that they do now, they do bioluminescent.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Bioluminescent.
Yeah,
I like that.
but it's also the ramifications of an AI bot doing a bioluminescent image. Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire.
Awesome.
I like saying certain city names are fun to say. I like Albuquerque.
Yeah, I'm from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you, when you were watching Bugs Bunny growing up, and he was always like,
It was like he shouted us out.
Yeah.
every single time. Because like New Mexico is like this subset of America where nobody knows about. Like you would go out of town and be like, "Yo, I'm from New Mexico," and they'd be like, "Well, you speak good English," and we're like, "What the fuck?" Like nobody thinks of New Mexico as part of the USA. So, because why would you name a state that? But anyway,
Well, when you beat Mexico in a war.
but like Arizona, California, all them shits is there over there. We got the New Mexico part. It's whack. But
New
anyway,
York.
We have New England.
But
too.
that sounds
state,
way
but-
cool. Like
New York,
it's cool. It
New
sounds
Mexico.
cool. Like
New Mexico sounds pretty dope.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm from there. I'm biased.
I agree. New Mexico might be one of the most overlooked, forgotten.
It's
states.
bastardized in the U.S. Nobody
Yeah.
knows about New Mexico.
Yeah, it's like next to Arizona.
Texas.
So like
Pacific
the
Coast.
bigger one, well for us anyway, rather than the Bugs Bunny shout out, was the T.I. shout out.
Oh, what'd he say?
Mississippi to Philly, Albuquerque to Chattown. Bring them out, bring them out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Albuquerque.
Not High School Musical. Yeah, same thing.
I've never seen it.
I thought that was Arizona.
Really?
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Gotta see High School Musical.
I think
don't know.
Tex-Mex overshadows New Mexico because if there was like
There's no Tex-Mex there.
I know, but like
That's the thing about New Mexico.
people lump in New Mexico with Tex-Mex type.
I don't think they do. I think you're making that up right now.
Right now, if you were to associate, if you asked a random person on the street, if you did like Family Feud, let's say, you sent out a poll to Americans.
That's tough though,
And
because
they-
people are pretty stupid.
They said, what are things that you associate with New Mexico? They would say Breaking Bad
Easily.
and atomic bombs.
Las Cruces. That would be the more well versed ones, I think.
Yeah,
I
before
would say
Breaking
Bugs Bunny would
Bugs
probably
Bunny.
be.
I was thinking the wrong turn in Albuquerque.
Yeah,
That was a good Bugs Bunny.
yeah. And I think it was the guy, Gary Johnson.
Yep.
He ran and he was like pretty libertarian. So
Mm-hmm. I would think of
Roswell.
Is he from New Mexico?
Roswell, good call, Billy.
Yeah.
Gary Johnson?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Shout out
Roswell
Aleppo.
over nukes.
Yeah. Roswell is probably Aliens might be number one.
It might be number one, actually.
Over Breaking Bad, too.
Yeah.
PFT, where's Area 51?
Area 51 is in Nevada.
You're good. People think it's in New Mexico.
Oh.
People think that Roswell and Area 51 are like close.
People also think the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
I like that Billy really thought he had me on
Oh,
that
he
one.
had. Oh, he was. He was on
plane,
the edge of his
This
seat.
is the planes all over again. When Billy was like, name 3 planes. Totally
I said I
shoved it
am
in your
going to
face.
go with.
Oh, by the way, I was running this morning. I saw 4 F-22s whiz overhead, like over the Hudson, kind of like.
They were on your 6.
You really don't know planes, Billy.
Yeah.
Those are not F-22s.
What were they then?
My guess.
That like sound breaking.
I was going to say, I feel like that would have been on the news.
And also,
I know enough about
Billy, have a
F-22s.
picture.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I'll identify the plane
Well,
for you.
the thing is, they flew by me so fast, I couldn't even get a good
They
picture.
definitely did not break the sound barrier. You're not
Yes,
allowed to break the
they
sound
did.
barrier over residential
They didn't-
neighborhoods. It'll shatter
Well, maybe
windows.
over the Hudson. They went by pretty fast.
Yeah, there's no buildings near the Hudson River, you fucking moron.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's no buildings near the Hudson River.
I'm making fun of you. It might be the most densely populated part of the United States.
Well, if you fly, you're not allowed to fly over, but there's no buildings underneath if you're over the
If
Hudson
an
River.
F-22, if 4 F-22s
I'm
in
just
formation
fucking saying,
flew over the river,
you're
here's a couple
gatekeeping
issues.
planes. You're gatekeeping
No,
planes. I just want to show
you're
you these
wrong. I'm
fucking
educating
planes.
you.
I just want to show you
Let
these
me
fucking
identify
planes that I saw this morning and talk to you about planes. They flew by so fast. That's all I could get.
But how the fuck is you going to identify a plane?
I'll identify it.
Okay.
They were flying in
Do you have a
formation.
video?
Yo,
No, I was running with my
Hey.
dog.
hey Mac, I'm going to send these to the group. You got to see what he is talking about.
Okay, I see 2 planes here.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like that scene in Last of Us where
Mm-hmm.
the planes fly overhead and they're like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Holy shit, is there something going on?"
Their side profile is too big to be an F-22. This could be.
They were fighter jets. I
I
don't
agree.
know what type.
So this looks like probably
F-18?
probably F-15s would be my guess. It looks like it's got it's got 2 tail fins back
Swipe.
there.
There's another photo that I think on the swipe right. I think don't swipe left.
Okay, it's I swiped right. I don't see anything in the other photo. But this, okay, I'm gonna narrow it down. These are either F-15s. There's an outside chance they could be F-35s, but I don't think that they'd fly Fat Amy over the Hudson River with every. It's still
Then-
like here's how you know that they're not F-22s, Billy. The F-22 program is still so secretive that we're not selling F-22s to other countries.
Right. Well, they were definitely American fighter jets. But I was thinking about. I was like, oh, are they like? But they're not doing like a flyover over a stadium or anything. Like this is 9:00 on a Wednesday. Like there's no sports going on. They're flying over. I'm like, are they flying to something? Like what's going on? And then there was one of those planes with the thing on top of it that we talked about.
AWACS.
AWACS. Yeah, that we thought shot down a MH.
Not shot down, but with their radar that jammed.
Yeah.
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 They don't have AWACS. Don't carry missiles.
Right, but came right
You
after.
infant.
I'm saying they thought it was an enemy aircraft or something. They detected it.
Yeah.
But we were talking about that. It was flying right after, and I was like, what the fuck's going on?
I'm saying it's mad impressive that you were able to identify anything from the spec in those pictures.
You can see a little bit of the side profile. It's a spec, but I know enough to know that it's not an F-22.
I cannot
Anyway,
see shit.
I was like,
that shit looks like
I was running, and
someone was on the camera.
I was running and just reading about Illuminati conspiracy theories all night, and then I woke up and I was trying to after no sleep getting some run in to get some energy, and then that flies overhead and I'm like, holy fuck, is America at war right now? And then I was like, did Russia attack? And then I was like, how did I not see this on Twitter?
It's crazy. One thing
That's in the line of how I thought.
I was thinking about Flight 93 the other day.
Yeah.
And how they scrambled aircraft to take off. I think it took off from Andrews Air Force Base to shoot down Flight 93 because they thought it was going to fly into the Capitol or the White House or another building in Washington, D.C.
This is 9/11, right?
On 9/11.
Okay.
And the flight took off with no missiles on it. And first of all,
Oops.
You have to be ready to, if you're going to be scrambling aircrafts in that sort of environment, you got to make sure that the ones that are ready to go have some missiles. they had no missiles on these fighter jets, and so the mission was going to be, I think it was a woman pilot. Her mission was going to be fly into the cockpit and just go
kamikaze.
They call it Fox 4. Yeah, just go right into the cockpit and take that out with her plane.
With the side of her wing, or
she said she was just going to crash it into the front of the airplane.
Then
eject. Yeah.
Maybe.
There's no way they just asking her to die.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
There's no way.
That's what actually happened. Yeah.
And she was like, all right.
Yeah, well, the plane crashed. What, Billy?
No, she was up in the air though.
Yeah.
I mean, and she was like, all right.
Yep.
Hell
They
no.
chose a
Wow.
A female pilot to crash her jet.
Holy shit, Billy.
You
just call back to the Andrew Tate conversation. That's fucked up.
Who needs a missile when you have a female pilot? Just get her up in the air. She'll run into something.
Don't clip that. Don't clip that.
No, that was her mission.
Man, that's funny as fuck, dog. Holy shit.
That would have sucked.
But I can't imagine. I know the U.S. and the U.S. military has done some wild shit. I can't imagine handing down the orders saying we don't have any missiles on these planes. Run into it.
Yeah, the order was to send her up and have her shoot down the plane. That's what she was supposed to do.
And there was none.
And they didn't have an aircraft ready that had missiles.
And they said Fox 4 this shit.
They said Fox 4.
Or they tipped the wings.
That would be
crash.
That would be tricky too, because
God, there's no way I do that.
It'd be tricky because you might not.
Do you do that?
Be able to cause enough damage, maybe because it's such a bigger plane and your plane is small.
Do you do that?
Do I do what?
Do you Fox 4 it if you're in the air and he's like, yo, there's no missiles?
Would I do it?
Do you Fox 4 it?
Absolutely.
You Fox 4 it?
Absolutely. I
do. You?
I would have never put myself in a position to have to make that choice in the first place. But I am curious, like, so they say that if it doesn't end up, if they were supposed to do that, you come back having not done it. You say, I'm not going to do that. You come back down. What happens?
Oh, you get court-martialed.
Yeah, court-martialed.
Like, would you go to jail?
I think your mission was to stop that flight no matter what, any way possible. And if you willingly bail out on it, so to speak, and turn around, go home, and they crash the plane into a building in Washington, D.C., and people die, yeah, I think you get court-martialed.
So your choice is literally go to prison or kill yourself.
Go to prison and live with the notion that you could have stopped a lot of innocent people from dying on the ground.
I'm cool with that. Like, what do you mean? I didn't do it. You want me to kill myself?
If I
give me a missile, bro. We don't got nothing on the ground y'all can send.
There is.
That's crazy as fuck.
That's how many trillion?
Yeah,
you're not gonna guilt me into 30 murders, bro. Like, hell no.
That's another good
y'all
point.
Did this?
Is there probably should have been some sort of surface-to-air missile around Washington, D.C. that you could use.
That's why I'm waiting back. You ain't got nothing.
I would have responded, I am a taxpayer in this country. And I know for a fact we spent $200 trillion on this shit last year. Y'all get another plane up here that has missiles on it.
Do armed forces even pay taxes, or do they get paid without taxes? You know
Does money come out of your paycheck?
Yes,
or
they pay taxes.
But even if you work for the government,
do you think the government is just like one thing?
I know, but do they take the taxes out of your
military paycheck?
If you work in America, you pay taxes.
I know, but I feel like this is I feel like they'd be like, you're already working for the government, so we're just going to give you pay. Like we'll just take the tax ourselves.
You think the taxes come out, but then you're going to get that money back in your next paycheck.
But the taxes are distributed, so they put it in a pot.
But if you're why would you waste money paying it to people just to take it out to give it to the IRS if you're already an entity that operates for the government?
That would be like every government worker doesn't pay taxes.
What? I feel like that makes sense because it's just going back to the government.
What do you think the government is?
A crime? No, I'm kidding. Taxation is theft, but when, that's what this country was founded on.
You're not wrong.
No, that's not true.
It's
taxation without representation.
Right.
Not taxation is theft.
No, but why wouldn't they just not just pay? Say this is your salary.
Taxes don't just go to government employees. It goes to roads.
Okay, Billy. The question you're asking could be asked of any job. You're just saying well, why do you give me this money just to take it? Why don't you just give me the amount of
right?
Which
why don't
happens
you just
when you get say you're giving me more and then give me the amount you're give me my net instead or my gross.
Yeah, don't tell me what you're taking. Just take it.
Because I feel like if you're working for the military,
because when that happens, then there is no money that's actually being taxed. It doesn't exist.
I kind of thought that the taxes are probably deducted already, like we do. Like Barstool keeps the money, then you get it back when you do your tax return, if you can. But like, I feel like it would be so counterintuitive.
But they have to pay taxes on who they pay.
Yeah.
Yes. Everyone that has a job in this country.
I'm sorry, but like, I feel like if you work for the government, why doesn't the government just keep the money that they're going to take from you and give back? That's what I'm trying to say. It just is counterintuitive. You definitely probably
because
pay taxes.
Then it doesn't exist. Okay, if you make $100,000, right?
Okay.
If your salary is $100,000, and you actually get 66 or whatever.
Yep.
What you're saying is, why don't you say you pay me 140, give me the 100 that you're giving to me and the government, and then the 40 that exists on paper is the taxes. But then that money isn't real. So what you're saying for the government is...
This is a stupid conversation. I'm sorry I brought it up.
You're just saying lie about how much I get paid,
and
then that way I get to keep it all for myself.
Lie to me, baby.
The military's going to get the money in a roundabout way, so why does the military just keep it while they have it?
Well, every paycheck that you get, if you're in the military, there's money that's going back to the government that will then be used to pay you in the future.
Yeah.
The problem is you're not thinking about the future. You're thinking that the money that's coming out is also your salary.
I'm very sorry about this conversation.
But that will be your salary next year.
I'm very sorry about this conversation. I'm just saying that since it's going right, like, I'm more...
It's actually an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of MMT?
No.
Modern Monetary Theory? It's very interesting. I won't get it. Actually, we could do an episode on it. I know the woman... There's this woman that wrote a book on it that's like the head of it. She actually, I think she led Bernie's... like economic or whatever her position was in his campaign. It's actually a fascinating conversation. As far as like what he said is like when you think about the future and you tax versus what was the analogy she gave? It's like it's counterintuitive as far as you work and then you get taxed rather than you tax and then you work. Something like that. It's more fascinating than it leads on. But it's not 100% stupid what you're asking. That's what I'm saying.
Arian, do you have an eye on the top of your pyramid tattoo?
No.
Is that an eye?
No. I do have the Eye of Ra. Where is it? Right there. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
But on the pyramid?
No, not on the pyramid.
Okay.
Wait. No.
All right, so Illuminati in the United States.
Yeah. I mean, the conspiracy theory, I don't want to give merit to it because a lot of it's super anti-Semitic. The Rothschilds ruled the world, caused all these wars to put central banks in different countries.
I don't want to get into it, but this is what it is.
I don't want to give it merit because it's pretty harmful. And like, I think that's that side. I think if we were looking for the Illuminati in different places, I think the WEF would be good.
Wait, hold on. Let's back up. I don't know a lot about the Rothschilds.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they are Jewish, but I don't think them having a lot of influence in government and politics has anything to do with them being Jewish.
It ties into the deeper theory that all the world's monetary issues and policies are controlled by Jewish people that have like they keep it amongst themselves.
Okay.
And they engineer things in order for them to get richer and for their banks to do better, despite the harm that it might cause on other people. That's what the anti-Semitic banking theory is.
Oh, okay. So they're saying...
So there are definitely some Jewish people that are heavily involved in banking. There's a lot of people that are heavily involved in banking worldwide. But a lot of people talk about the Rothschilds like they are the head of the Jewish cabal that controls every bad thing that happens in the world.
Okay.
And that's a parallel that people try to draw out of everything.
Got you. It's what Kanye was banging.
It might be, yeah, exactly. It might be easier to just say like the very, very rich people control the world, because they can make money off conflicts, which is true.
Yeah, that's why I was like, let's back up because it is very profitable for people to go to war.
Yes, oh for sure.
I would actually, if you're a Rothschild, come on the show. Tell us how this has affected your life. Because honestly, I couldn't imagine like having that last name and like just have like everyone just assumes the worst about you.
Yeah.
From those.
Is there like active Rothschilds that are like do media?
I don't know.
I don't know if they do media. I saw that there's a Italian politician. She's Mussolini's granddaughter, and her name is Mussolini too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's
tough. But
there's a few like serial killers who have like changed their name, like their family descendants have like changed their name.
Well, Hitler had family in America, and they all changed their last name.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That's a good call.
They made a pact to never reproduce.
Really?
That might be a myth, but
I'm about
that's
to
just
say,
something I heard.
know.
They're like the bloodline dies with us. They're like nieces and nephews of Hitler, and like they fought for the American army.
And it's like there's something in our genetics
in me
that
makes us
allowed
evil.
us to be the worst person ever. So if that's true, those people are heroes.
Yeah.
They love the world so much they stopped fucking.
Everybody has a crazy uncle.
Yeah.
Theirs was just the worst.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that though.
What do you mean?
Should Hitler's descendants stop reproducing?
If they volunteered, I think that's great.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know that I would have mandated it, but if they came to that conclusion, I'm fine.
I mean,
with
they
that.
actually.
That's a wild.
Actually, that may be one of the
theories.
that may be very Hitler-esque.
What?
Oh, to force sterilization? Yeah. His doctor, Mengele, he could have been talked into sterilizing himself in the future.
Jeez.
Illuminati. Illuminati in modern America.
It kind of got back. So the popular culture, these stories that were written, these books, which then translated to a card game, which people are saying predicted 9/11. Hillary Clinton's on there. There's basically 1,000 conspiracy theories under the sun that are on cards that are like play cards in this game, which really reignited a lot of this idea of the Illuminati and the modern interpretation that the Illuminati may have done 9/11, other stuff, war in Iraq, in music, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Type stuff.
So I think what Illuminati has kind of changed meaning in the last 50 years or so. Now it's like whoever is powerful is Illuminati, or whoever is, has a large focus of celebrity, they're Illuminati. And there is some truth to the fact that, rich and powerful people, they have their own networks and they do things that benefit them, and they continue to get wealthier because they have these rich, powerful contacts that the normal average day person will never see the benefit of most of the things that they choose to do with their business transactions. They're trying to make money for themselves, but Illuminati is just thrown out there to be like, that's the man. That's what the Illuminati has become now. Them. Yeah, they're them.
But, there is connections, like conspiracy connections to the Skull.
That's what I want to hear.
The Skull and Crossbones group.
Yep.
I actually was there recently. I checked out their it's called The Tomb, is where they hang out. And it was a Sunday, and I was just like wandering around, and I was like, oh shit. Like, I was driving, I was in New Haven. I was like checking out the tomb, and I was like scoping out the security systems.
Did you get invited in?
No. It was a Sunday. I wasn't trying to, but like I walked around the building and like looked at their security systems. They have some very, very good, like expensive cameras, keypad situation. That place is a fortress.
Yeah, so talk about Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones. Now, Skull and Bones, I think there's actually merit to as being a secret society that may be fucking shit up. Guess who some members you might know? George W.
George H.W.
John Kerry. The 2004 election. Who were the two finalists?
All Skull and Bones. There are other presidents too, right?
Yeah.
So what are the Skull and Bones?
It's a secret society at Yale that certain people get tapped. I think Rob DeSantis is probably a member.
Ron DeSantis.
Ron.
Yeah.
Big Rob. Shout out.
There's a lot of Yale baseball players who got tapped.
Basically, if you're at Yale and you come from a prominent family, or they identify you as somebody that might have connections, might be a good person to keep close in the future, they tap you for the secret society, and then they get blackmail on you. So in their induction ceremony, I don't know everything that goes on. I do know that like jacking off in a coffin is one of the things that they have you do. So at some point in his college career, George W. Bush was in a coffin just jacking off.
I heard
he's like your friend, Arian.
He's just busting to people's places.
Yeah.
There's also a theory that you might have to like. This is like all old frat theory that like they lock all your pledge brothers in a room with a goat, and you all can like make the frat if one of the people fucks the goat. And then the one person, one of them does it, and then they say who did it, and that person actually doesn't make it into the frat.
Mm-hmm.
That I've heard a lot of shit like that. So like a lot of secret society. I've heard like a Masonic stuff. I don't know if this is any kind of truth. There are a lot of these secret society type Jones, where it's like one of them was like you let certain members have sex with your wife, or you have sex with somebody else's wife. It's like this big weird sex shit. Where that they always have like that blackmail over you, that like if you say whatever happens or whatever, like we have this on you, and you always have to do some like weird sex shit to like get in. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but that's one of the things.
That's how they got Hulk Hogan.
Bubba the Sponge.
Yeah,
I don't know about this story.
So Hulk, he became best friends with a Tampa DJ I think it was a morning drive time DJ. Bubba the Love Sponge is the guy's name. And if you look up a picture of this guy, he looks exactly like you think a dude named Bubba the Love Sponge would look. And he used to like having his friends fuck his wife. And
like cuck holding?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was into that sort of thing. And Hogan was going through a divorce, tough times. And Bubba said to his wife, like, hey, I'm sending Hulk over, show him a good time. Hulk goes over to his house, and he knows his wife. They're, again, best friends. Bubba the Love Sponge and Hulk Hogan were best friends. And then he fucked his wife, and Bubba secretly recorded it in their fuck camera room that they have.
Oh, wow.
And then Bubba held on to that CD, that DVD that had the sex tape on there, brought it into work, and apparently he had just like a bunch of DVDs of people fucking his wife. An ex-employee of Bubba.
Oh, is this the Gawker shit?
Yeah. Oh. A former employee found, a disgruntled employee of Bubba's, found the Hulk Hogan DVD and then took screenshots, shopped it around in the media, and then sent it out. I think, did TMZ get it first? Or I know that Gawker.
Probably. They get it.
Gawker published like, I forget how many seconds of it. And then they were told to take it down by a judge, and they said, nope, we're not taking it down. And so then Hogan sued Gawker with the help of Peter Thiel. Mm-hmm. He funded the lawsuit, sued Gawker, drove them into bankruptcy. Brought the entire website down. It is fucked up what they did to Hogan.
Yeah.
It is. Like, he didn't know that he was being recorded at the time. And, yeah, you probably shouldn't fuck your best friend's wife, but that's not, like, that's a moral
that's
thing.
Their business.
It's their business. Doesn't mean that there has to be a videotape of you
that's
fucking
true.
it that gets presented to everybody in the world.
True.
Yeah, Billy?
Crazy thing I forgot to mention about the Steve Jackson card game, the Illuminati card game. The Secret Service raided their offices in Austin, Texas in March 1990 and confiscated a bunch of hard drives and documents that pertained to the board game. Mm-hmm. This fueled a lot of conspiracy theories. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe it could have been retribution for if you're, Clinton and you're like, this dude like made me out as a bad guy in his card game with Hillary Clinton. Mm-hmm. Like, let's mess him around a bit. Or they were exposing the Illuminati and they're pissed. Look, I'm not one to judge. Hey.
Mm-hmm. And so modern day people that are theoried to be in the Illuminati, the Clintons, right?
Yeah.
Beyonce. Yeah. That's mostly because of her Super Bowl halftime show, I think.
Also, the rock gesture looks like the pyramid.
Yeah.
No, there for sure.
Yeah. When Deshaun Jackson, I think he was maybe the first person I saw do this after a touchdown with his hands. I was like, what does that mean? People are like, oh, he's in the Illuminati. If you're letting Deshaun Jackson into your Illuminati, you need to...
Now,
he was a great receiver.
I mean, with those 1 yard fumbles, I don't think you could trust him to be in a secret society.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Was this before that became the thing with the gloves, though?
Yeah, then I think the NFL or whoever their equipment sponsor was,
it was Nike,
designed gloves that would make it look so there was one image when you put your hands together like that.
The most famous one was the Mark Ingram one, I think. That's what really set it off. Yeah,
he was the one.
Was he making
Alabama?
Well, Bama was like one of the first teams to get that. I think where they had those gloves.
I think it was the A.
Right.
Oh, making the A for Alabama.
That was that was the 2009 national championship game against Texas.
So
and then that became a big thing.
Skull and crossbones in various different societies that all may be interconnected. How like the Masons and other societies in Europe were kind of had Illuminati members, like then we have the Bohemian Grove, which has a lot of overlap with Skull and Crossbones. These may just be social clubs where a lot of networking happens and may cause a lot of, big business networking and stuff like war is big business.
Yeah. And then that is controlled by members of the same secret societies.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a valid point. What if in 100 years people are doing a podcast or whatever and they're talking about like the origin of a new secret society and it's from Billy's List? It started out just as a group of people looking to share truths and fun facts with each other about their various professions. And then next thing you know, they took over the world. They control the banking industry. It all dates back to Billy.
That would be fucking ridiculous if they were talking like someone's reading a page about like he was, he started working at Barstool Sports. He was a podcaster.
Billy was trying to do something positive.
Like imagine me thinking about someone writing about me like I just read about that guy who started the Illuminati. That's just stupid.
Mm-hmm. It's going to happen.
That's hilarious.
It's going to happen for sure.
The interesting part to me is like how like all these symbols kind of like make their way into like folklore. Not folklore, pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
And like part of me thinks that they should be trolling people. Like Jay-Z, for instance. Jay-Z and Beyonce and all these people, like, that shit is gonna stir the pot. So maybe that's the goal, right? But you have all this like silly symbology that people will take it and run with the shit.
Yeah. Like
I remember because I was just looking it up because I meant to look at this but I forgot, so I was just kind of looking it up. Remember when he had like that Aleister Crowley shirt or something like that?
Hollister,
Crowley or something.
Hollister was the.
Is it Hollister?
Well, there's another Hollister.
No, it's Aleister.
Okay.
Aleister Crowley, yeah. He was just like this, basically just like an anti-Christian. Like his parents were super Christian. He was like anti, like he kind of had like his own like set of religious beliefs and people follow it or whatever. But he was like not a Satanist. He used a lot of imagery though.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm curious to see like why, I don't know why Jay-Z would wear a shirt like that. I'm not sure. I don't think he did anything terrible. I think he was just like anti-religion, and that evolves into a Satanist. I've been called a Satanist before, but it's interesting that they continue to like poke the poke the conspiracy bear. Like it's for what?
The whole Luciferianism, and that was something I didn't mention that they were accused of because they're going against the religion.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the whole development of Luciferianism, and I think there's like the Lucis banking system is the idea of like enjoying life and like being on Earth and enjoying instead of just like withholding feelings, stuff was always preached by the Catholic Church, but just like being, striving for something like for example, that was a big thing in the Enlightenment, that they didn't feel bad about making money and like working hard.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to obtain something. Like that whole idea of almost greed, like was, I think back then was almost associated with Luciferianism.
Yeah. This is really interesting. Mad Dog McKenzie, get ready for this. Taylor Swift, Illuminati clone of satanic priestess Zena LaVey.
Wow.
Whoa. Wait.
Yep.
Let's go.
So there's a lot of rumors about Taylor Swift and the Illuminati flying around out there. Few people say that folklore is not just about her membership in the Illuminati, but her behind-the-scenes relationship with a fellow Illuminati clone of JFK Jr.
Oh.
Folklore is about JFK Jr., not JFK Jr., but about his clone.
Wait, JFK Jr., are they talking about the Kennedy that she dated?
I was going to say she did date a Kennedy.
It's No, it's the JFK Jr. that's running
Died?
for president.
That's RFK Jr.
The JFK Jr. who QAnon keeps insisting is
alive, who
going
died
to come back. Yeah, he's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, now I'm confused.
The guy. Sorry, not the. Let me reset. Not the guy that's running for president.
Okay.
I misread this fact, and it is a fact. It's a clone of the JFK Jr. that's coming back. That QAnon says is coming back. It's a clone of that guy. So Taylor Swift was dating JFK Jr.'s clone, and that's who she wrote Folklore about. Now, she looks a lot like...
Did she really write a song about Kennedy?
Yes, fact.
Yeah, because...
Yeah,
okay.
she dated one of them.
One, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just asking. I have no idea.
Connor Kennedy? Is that his name?
I think so.
So she looks a lot like...
Lost Taylor Swift? Kennedy curse is real.
The high priestess.
Wait. Who is this high priestess?
The high priestess of the Church of Satan between 1985 and 1990 was a woman named Zeena LaVey. Zeena LaVey, Lavay. And boy, do they look a lot alike. Taylor Swift and this Zeena LaVey lady.
Xena Warrior Princess?
No,
that's not it.
Zeena, not Xena.
Oh,
so,
here's why
yeah,
Xena LaVey.
They look a lot alike. Her dad founded the Church of Satan. She was the high priestess of the Church of Satan.
So those open Satanists are laughed at by the real Illuminati. Like, that whole Church of Satan has been totally written off.
Okay, well, what about the fact that she cloned herself so that in the event of her untimely death, she could move into a new clone body? Her spirit could. And she cloned. Guess when she cloned herself, Billy?
I'm gonna go 1989.
Yeah, that's a fact, Big T. She tried to clone herself in 1989. She looks a lot like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was born in 1989.
In quotes.
And Shake It Off refers to shaking off the Xena identity into a new body. Blank Space is about the clone being a blank space for Xena to transfer her consciousness. And Bad Blood, obviously, is about the blood of Xena being used to create Taylor Swift and how satanic blood runs through Taylor Swift's system.
This life would be way more interesting if shit like that was real.
And Bad Blood is filled with satanic symbols and Illuminati imagery. And if you translate the phrase Xena Taylor Bad Blood in the Hebrew gematria, it translates to identical twins and has a numeric value of 1330. 33, we all know that's a number that's closely associated with the Illuminati.
Oh, well, it is. It's on the front of Skull and Bones.
Yeah, I just said it's well known. And 13 is a number that Taylor Swift has an affection for. And in the video for Bad Blood, Mad Dog McKenzie, what was Taylor Swift's name in the video for Bad Blood?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm going to sound like a bad Swiftie. I don't remember.
Is it Becky?
Catastrophe. It was Catastrophe. Mm-hmm. And in Hebrew translation, that means devil horns. And she's killed in the video by a character named Arson, Arsyn, which translates to hexagram. Well,
you sound like the monster lady.
Yeah, no, this is real.
Yeah, because we're connecting dots.
Right.
Yeah, we're asking questions. We're asking questions. So
this is a bad time to do this. She's coming to New York this weekend. Her people are probably already here.
The monster
They're
lady?
gonna no Taylor Swift.
Oh, I was like,
they're gonna.
go.
There's gonna be a note on our doors when we get home.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift might be a clone of Xena, the high priestess of the Church of Satan. Think about it.
I'm in.
Just think about it.
Bad Blood.
We may have gotten too
Illuminati.
close to the truth.
Too close to the truth.
This might not. Yeah.
Okay, but hypothetically.
That's what that was.
No.
No, those are facts.
Okay,
Okay,
so let's move on to something that's like a little crazier.
Let's actually take something seriously.
Wait, what?
What?
I don't think you know what words mean, man.
No, what? Let's get back to the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
What if they're
Billy's the interesting.
No, like that's like the BS Illuminati stuff. Like let's get like some real shit.
Okay.
Let's say there is a network of individuals in high places and low places who try to control their ideals by influencing politics, media, compromising individuals, maybe meeting on an island, or at the Bohemian Grove, and they try to push their agenda on the world.
Have any other prominent media figures ever posited this?
Who? Oh, AJ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's AJ?
Alex Jones.
He's just repeating shit that Alex Jones has said for years.
And like, let's say there's a whole
Grove thing?
list of people who may have visited an island.
Is this the Bohemian? Epstein.
Yeah. Like,
okay.
I mean, the thing is, like,
you got a lot of chefs in the kitchen on this theory.
I don't think the Illuminati is a thing anymore. I think that was like an ancient, since it was a secret society that was hiding from the church, we've now sort of used it for every secret society.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there might be something there.
With Epstein, yeah, I think there probably is.
Yeah. So, but like that just proves that the idea.
So you're saying, if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that there is a cabal of pedophiles that are trying to push pedophilia in pop culture?
Not necessarily, but maybe like just.
I think that there's definitely what I agree with you, Billy, is what I said earlier, which is rich, powerful people make networks amongst themselves to improve their lives and to control things that will enrich themselves and their family and their friends.
Lobbyists.
Yeah,
that's a known thing.
This definitely happens, and you could call it a secret society just because it might not have a name to it and a handshake, but that's just the way the world works. It sucks.
We need a handshake for the podcast.
Yeah, we do.
We'll make it up after this.
It's gonna be secret, or are we gonna tell the Dojans while they're
I
dosing?
thought, did we do that at one point?
By
Was
the way,
there like a wave or something that the?
We're trying to make dosing a thing. Like,
No, we're not.
What
You
you
were trying
doing
to
with
make
dosing?
But I thought at
it's
one
gonna
point
be a thing.
I hope so, man.
there was some
Stop making
sort
fetch
of
a thing. Dosing will become a thing.
there was something that if you saw someone in public and they listened to the show, they were supposed to do.
I don't remember.
Like
that.
we discussed, this show's been going on too long. I forget.
Yeah, maybe, but it didn't catch on. Whatever.
No, just be like, "Yo, you dosing?"
Mm-hmm.
If you see someone on their headphones,
if you see Billy, say I dose.
Yep. We'll know what that means.
If you see us, just say hi.
I dose.
I want to think they're trying to drug me.
All right, so Illuminati is real. It was a real thing.
Yeah,
it has evolved, and
I would say devolved.
Well, there are people that control the media and control politics and wars, and they're the people, as George Carlin would say, they're the big club.
And you ain't in it.
They're the big club.
They just hide in plain sight now.
Mm-hmm. And they're
like it used to be a secret.
reptiles.
Now it's not a secret. So they're just like, yeah, the Illuminati's real. It exists. And then so they make you, they lull you into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
But they're still out here.
Now, do I think it has anything to do with Satan besides the Taylor Swift thing? Probably not. Why would you incorporate everything that you want to do is just enrich yourself and your friends? Why bring Satan into all of this?
Because it's I read about it and it is kind of rational, like enjoying your time on Earth instead of like, trying to get to heaven.
Hedonism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The New World Order is a part of that too, and so it's kind of
like the idea that push them, like try to enact a world government, New World Order, try to basically become an authoritarian regime over the entire world.
Have we made any progress towards that, having a one world government?
Kinda.
How?
WEF.
The World Economic Forum?
Yeah.
That's not a global government.
They think, this is from my understanding, because honestly you hear this on extremes from the right a lot. You'll hear that the left wants, the majority of like conspiracy theories boil down to like Antichrist stuff. And one world government and total, like you said, authoritarian control. And so any policy that has any kind of global diplomatic ventures is like, so they'll say they want borderless. Like that's their way of saying they want one world government. That's every single policy implementation that has any kind of like global diplomacy, it ends up being it's an Antichrist thing, and they want one world government.
Yeah.
Do you want open borders?
I would love open borders. Like, think about the consequences of what you're saying.
But
I was just curious.
Yes, but is it realistic? No, of course not. But I think that should be every human's goal, is to that you can freely roam throughout the entire world without a care. Like, is that not what, if you die, I assume you believe in Jesus, you definitely do.
I've told you, yeah.
Yeah, but if you die, is that not, do you not want a state in which you could just roam wherever you're at in heaven?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That's what I want, heaven on earth. That's all I want. I just want you to be able to go and live your life and enjoy. Yes, I want open borders. Is it realistic in 2023? No.
Okay, that's fair enough.
That'd
That's
be funny if
also
you
a
got to heaven
hyper-
and there were like different nations and countries.
The West Coast of heaven.
Yeah. But you couldn't go down south. You have to get a passport to go to Mexican heaven.
That would be fucking
Yeah.
Mexican heaven's crazy.
Yeah. Canadian heaven.
That'd be hilarious.
Go up there in the summertime.
Everything's just segregated.
But yeah.
That shit would be funny as shit.
Means we'd win twice.
Arian, as a
Oh my god.
Born in
as
the
an anti-capitalist,
US of A, baby.
Yeah.
is that a fair way of describing you? I'm not saying
Yes.
anti-capitalist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand the hyper-capitalist ideal of why open borders are beneficial?
I understand the argument. Yeah.
That it allows the free roam of labor and allocation.
I
which
understand the argument. Yeah.
In the end, sort of reduces wages and gives power to.
I understand the argument. Of
Yeah.
that, yeah, but I just disagree with it.
Yeah.
Y'all know who's becoming anti-capitalist now?
Who?
All the Swifties.
Yeah.
They're seeing
Let's go. Say more.
they're seeing Taylor
Zach-
rake in all this cash,
Uh-huh.
and that the ticket prices are too high. But they're saying they're anti-capitalist now. I saw a TikTok the other day. Did I send it? In the group, there was, I forget exactly what it was, but it was like, fuck this capitalism. Oh, here it is. Oh, so it's seats down near the stage that are empty, and this girl said, these aren't just seats, they're stolen memories, bought, hoarded, and prices inflated. I hate capitalism.
Yeah, come on, Swifties.
So I think Blondie's turning them to the left.
Everyone becomes
That's been her goal for a
anti-capitalist
while.
if they're personally inconvenienced by a price. Okay, well, the Illuminati, I think we've gotten to the bottom of them. Sorry, bitch. Party's over.
By the way, I'm not. We're entertaining thought process. I think if anything, not that the world's controlled by pedophiles, but I think there is a level of psychopathy where to get to such a high level, like for example, if I got to a level where like I could be I would be content at a point. If I got to a certain level, made a certain amount of money, I'd start chilling. I'd probably still podcast. I'd probably pick up golf once my body started breaking down.
Are you just describing my life?
I know. I was about to say. I do what Arian does. I'd reach that level where I just be chilling. There's people like to get past that level, like you have to be a psychopath.
You want to control people's lives.
Yeah, and I think that is, if anything, there's a whole social network of like-minded psychopaths that disregard other humans that end up running the world because they don't they want more, and nothing's ever enough, and they will to get to that position you have to manipulate, lie, steal.
Yeah.
Do you think Bill Gates is in that?
Yeah. 100%.
Interesting.
I think this dude literally paid millions of dollars to hook up with a bridge player.
He might just be a nerd that can't get laid. We had that discussion, like how long is the longest you've ever traveled for sex? Bill Gates flew to Russia to fuck.
If you're that rich and you're not in some sort of secret society though, you're kind of a loser.
Yeah. That's true.
Or
if you're one of the
or
at one point the
Sigma.
richest person on earth and nobody wants you in their club, you suck.
Or you're Sigma.
Is that worse than beta?
No, you're just
That's the
on
alpha.
your
So
own.
the alpha.
You're just you don't care about the group hierarchy. You just are by yourself doing your own.
Oh, so
Wait,
that's
Sigma's
above
above
alpha.
alpha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I've never even heard of that, but I thought alpha was the top of the top.
No.
No.
You haven't heard of Sigma, bro.
Sigma.
You're kind of a beta for being an alpha. Let's do we have voicemails today?
Fuck the whole hierarchy.
Let's do a
Oh,
couple
before we get into voicemails, did you hear about that? There's this pod. I don't know where is it. There's this pod of orcas.
Yeah.
Yes.
That are passing down how to fuck with boats, and I love it.
Yep.
No, so this is a real problem because orcas, who I think there's no recorded attacks in the wild because they're so smart they get away with all their murders.
That's why you think so?
Yeah.
I think they this is my working theory. My working theory is I think that they recognize another intellectual species and they leave us alone. But I think they're starting to see the destructions that we're causing, and they're like, fuck these dudes.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening.
The only reason they have been recorded is because they're too good at killing is a bit of sorts. I agree with you, but also their food items that they learned to eat have been passed on generations to generations. There's some orca whales that only eat sea urchins, crabs and stuff, and don't actually go after whales, whereas there's other pods that go after whales. There's another theory that the only reason orcas
eat other whales?
Yeah, that's why they're called killer whales, not because they're whales. They're actually dolphins. They're large dolphins. The reason why they get called killer whales is because they kill whales.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. When I was in Mexico and I went on a whale watching boat, which was awesome. And the guy was like, I've been doing this for 15 years, and every day that I've come out here during whale season, I've seen multiple whales. We never have any days where it's like no whales around. There are just so many of them, except for one day. There was one day where there was not a whale to be seen, and that's because there was a pod of orcas that were traveling through that area. And so the other whales heard the pod coming, or they told each other, and they just deviated completely from their normal routes.
Debo coming. So I was going to tuck mine in.
Yeah.
I don't know what we just said, but I got the gist.
It's a Friday reference.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you see the Friday with Ice Cube?
I know what it is. I haven't seen it.
It's a very famous line. It's cool.
Yeah.
Debo was the big dude on the block.
Got it.
So like, you've heard the reference of Debo before, right?
Maybe, and I didn't recognize
I'm a Debo that child. I'm a Debo. He's Deboing it.
I think this is maybe more common in other communities than my own.
Facts. We're learning cross-pollination. That's what makes this podcast.
I just learned how the Swifties are turning to commies. I'm here, dog.
Most of them were
comrade Swifties. I'm on your squad. Let's go.
All right.
Wait, orcas. So the reason they never attacked humans is because their parents never told them they were a suitable food source. But if like one of those killer blackfish orcas were to get into the wild and teach those other orcas that they can kill humans, there would be more attacks. So right now what we're seeing is all those boats. And actually I have a video of these dudes up in the Arctic Circle, I think probably around Alaska, Canada. I can just tell by their accents. I don't know the exact, but basically they almost get their boat flipped by an orca. And my whole
they're biting routers. They're literally biting routers, and like I think they sunk like 3 or 4 boats.
Yeah, just to fuck, just like for fun.
Yeah, then they're not even interested in like eating the humans. They're just sinking the boats, which tells me like get the fuck out of here. That's what it tells me.
Yeah,
because they're so smart. Like you see them when they hunt, like they communicate. Yo, I lift this up, he's gonna slide off. You do that. Like they communicate in a very real way. They have a language. That to me that denotes like, yo, stay the fuck out of here.
They have different languages, I think.
Yeah, they don't
like different pods. Like
they have accents.
Can't communicate.
Yeah, there's
with
not
each
one world government under the ocean.
They're territorial.
But that's crazier that there's multiple than one.
That probably also means that there's prejudice amongst orcas. Like, they're from the wrong pod. I don't like the way they talk.
No, they fight with each other. If you dropped off a South Antarctica Sea orca in like the Galapagos or Mexico with those, they'll jump that orca.
Yeah.
They'll be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Wrong hood, homie.
Like, look, we saved the whales, but they're kind of racist.
There's really no difference between the ocean and South Central Los Angeles is what I'm hearing.
Let's cancel orcas.
Yeah.
Nah, I'd rather cancel humans.
It's a big misstep that we don't have a professional sports team named after killer whales.
Yeah, the orcas.
The orcas or the killer whales.
That's fire.
Like dolphins.
I'm gonna see if I can't get in touch with Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
See if they can rename.
Imagine how sick a professional uniform would be.
Black and white.
With the orca patterns on it.
That would be actually
fire.
Yeah.
Like the distinct orca pattern is tough.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
If Seattle gets the Sonics back, I don't know if they own the name Sonics. That might have gone with Oklahoma City.
Seattle Orcas.
The Seattle Orcas.
Ooh, that sounds dope.
Go along with the Kraken.
The killer whales, the Seattle killer whales.
Really fire too.
That's the Seattle hockey team.
Is it really? Oh, that's really fire.
Yeah, that's what Seattle should do if they can't get Sonics back.
Yeah, and then you just have like an aquatic
Yeah.
sports team, and the Seahawks flying over. We just did that.
Damn, that would be such a good looking uniform, wouldn't
That
it?
sure would be fire.
Hell yeah! Tell you what, let's save voicemails for next show. Let's stack them. Voicemail Palooza on next Thursday's show. Programming note: It is Memorial Day weekend. We will not be in the office on Monday, therefore no podcast coming out on Tuesday. And then on Thursday there will be a full-size Macrodosing featuring Voicemail Palooza at the end. I'm going to be remote. I'm going to be in Chicago. I'm moving out there.
Oh, this is it. Is this your last?
Tomorrow. I'm
Is this your last episode on Macrodosing in New York?
I'm not sure because I'm going to be back in New York for. I'm actually like going to spend more time in June not in Chicago than in Chicago, just because travel is going to be insane for us. Right. But I'll be back in New York for a little bit in June. I'm not sure if that happens to be on. I'm sure I'll be here for at least a Monday. I don't know about if I'll be here on a Wednesday to record a Thursday macrodosing, but this might be my last Thursday macrodosing that I record in New York. It's been fun. It's been amazing. Billy, I'm going to miss you putting up this poster every day. We got a new studio that we got to get to work on out in Chicago.
Are we bringing this poster or no?
We probably should.
I think keep the poster here.
Keep it here?
Yeah, because think about you're having a whole studio built that's going to have macrodosing.
Yeah, this is like a makeshift thing. We've got a whole studio. There.
We've been squatting. We've been squatting in the studio.
Billy, I want you to have this poster.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to keep it in my house. And then when I zoom in, I'll just put it up.
There's no way you're keeping it at your house.
Wait, so you're not going to come into the office to record?
I don't want to step on. We had a whole conversation.
You actually have to for quality reasons.
Yeah, but
Billy,
I feel
shared his
selfish.
concern that if he's in a podcast room by himself, that other people will be mad at him. And we were like, well, no, we're telling you like that's what it's for, and that you have to. And he's like, well,
I feel selfish taking up a whole podcasting room by myself.
You're recording a podcast.
It's literally what the room is for.
I know, but like, what if like
Billy,
a podcast with more people comes?
Okay, more people.
We're on the podcast, just not here.
That's why you reserve the studio space and reserve it every Monday and every Wednesday. And just because there's other podcasts that exist, you are a part of this podcast. And last I checked, we're top 5 in terms of downloads.
Talk that shit.
Sometimes you got to let people know.
Talk that shit.
Sorry, I got low
Tier
self-esteem.
1.
Let them know.
Tier 1.
It's top shit.
We're top 5 podcast in terms of audio listens and downloads at this company.
Come on.
So you are going to be able to record this podcast.
Matter of fact, you can Debo them up out of studio if it ain't ready.
No, I don't.
Say
I
top 5 player.
no, seriously, I don't have that ego in me.
It's just ego. It's a fact.
I know, but I don't think of myself as that important.
You are
really,
entitled to use a podcasting studio to record a successful podcast.
I feel uncomfortable reserving a whole podcast studio for just myself.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you're not that important. This show is.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
There you go.
that's okay.
go.
That's a better way to look at it.
tell them Big T needs this studio space so that I can talk to him.
Tebow.
That's perfect. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Have a happy, safe Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. Don't get behind the wheel if you've done anything that might be inebriating. There's too many options out there. Uber
exists.
Lyft, taxis, walking. I don't want anybody from
definitely exists.
I don't want anybody from macrodosing. I don't want any Dojans out there getting in trouble, hurting themselves, or hurting somebody else this weekend. So just be safe.
As always, if you're murdering people, please stop.
Love you guys.
Well, we are.